This is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists.
Let's ride! You boys ready for a great raid? Let's ride! You boys ready for a great raid?
Oh, yes, we are. Welcome to the Gamers Council podcast. I'm your host, WebDave, along with my co-host, the Hargeet Chani. Hargeet, what's up, buddy?
Hey, well, yeah, we had some fun news over the last week. Let's get into some fun.
Oh, man, it is going to be crazy good. That's all I'm saying right now. And, of course, we have several guests today, and we have the most special guest, my favorite man, the man that got me into podcasting, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Boomstick XL. Sir, how you doing?
What's up, brother? Listen, first of all, let me apologize to the audience. Last weekend, I was supposed to be a guest. I had a migraine for 3 days. So I was, by the time Sunday came along, I had tapped out. But I'm here today. There's no migraines, except there is a monster-sized snowstorm that's rocking New Rochelle right now. And we should get around 20 inches of snow by tomorrow evening. Yeah, but I'm here, and we got, man. There's so much to catch up with, Dave. I don't even know where we're going to start. But
well, we're gonna just jump into it. I sent out some show notes, and those are pretty much just kind of a loose, very loose guideline of things to talk about. But I'm gonna let everybody get deep into their thoughts, emotions. We'll get some chatter here in a little bit too as well. We'll see how things go. King David is supposed to be joining us in a little bit, but he had to run to the grocery store because the show was running late on Iron Woods, because of course they talked about all the great stuff today too. What an amazing show they had today. Oh my gosh, from Parris Lilly to Destin Legary and so many other amazing members of the community jumped on with them as well. That was fantastic. What a great show they had. Love the Iron Lord. Shout out to them. Hard to wait to see them in June. And yes, June is going to be a good time for all. I'm going to say it's a lot of mystery now, but we shall see. A lot of thoughts, a lot of different reactions in the community. Some good, some bad. The only thing I'll start off by saying for me is that some people don't like change. Some people do like change. People thought the change was a long time coming, but we're gonna give out some flowers. We're gonna give out some respect today for what got us to where we're at now, got us to the dance, as it were, and then what we can expect in the future. All those kind of things we're going to be talking about today. It's going to be crazy, but I do have a lot of great members in the chat and a lot of great mods in the chat, including both Mr. Boomstick and Hargeet Chani. You have mod abilities ready to go. And I will just let you guys know that if you start getting some hate speech or too much pony talk, you will be timed out. And I don't have a problem with that at all. This is a gaming podcast but we do we bleed green here as well. Shout out to Mr. Boomstick and his wonderful shows that he does every day. Oh my gosh, you got like 2
At Bounty Zero celebrates 27 months of membership. New Year is starting off crazy with the Xbox.
It is
With all of it, with all of gaming, it's starting off crazy.
exactly.
It's
Hey,
been a year,
whatever.
man. Yeah, it's been a crazy 7 weeks, and I don't know. You know, I honestly, I just think 26 itself has really came in like a lion.
Mhm.
And you know, like we were talking about the other day, our health hasn't been great. Like we got sick twice, man. I mean, it's been a real rough go at it for everybody. I really hope that we end the year in just awesomeness. The best I can say.
Yeah, exactly.
All
I
right.
agree with that.
So yeah, I was about to put those on. So Adidas, salute my peeps. Hargeet, show me the olives. Here you go, buddy. I'll see if I can actually get myself.
I
out of the
love
way.
it.
Let's do this. And
Make it
see if
rain,
we
are
get,
you?
I love
There
it.
you
That
go.
is so great. Please tell me you show that to C Money every time you're
Oh,
on.
look, he's even got Adidas.
Oh, he's seen
in the
it.
background.
He's seen it.
Oh my god, I love it. Not the raining olives and the size of basketballs, no less.
And then
great.
Lotus Esprit gifts 5 WebDave memberships. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so
Lotus.
much, Lotus.
Lotus is a
then-
generous man. Yes.
Yes.
And BT Maverick, a member for 15 months. And then we have Ricard 1235, member for 9 months. And then we have a Bunty. We just got this one, and I think that's it. Did I miss anything?
No, I think that's it to get us started for sure. I do also want to mention to let everybody know that we do have the TTS is available if you want to have a little bit of fun with it. You've already heard it. Let me go over here to this. So just in case, if you want to, you can actually pull up what sound effects are available.
At B_nice_1 celebrates 15 months of membership.
Nice.
Be nice. Thank you. So yeah, it reads those off as well. The only thing it doesn't read off is the when somebody gives a gifted memberships, and we'll still bring those up with no problem at all. But in the corner right beside Mr. Boomstick's head, if you hold up your phone, either watching on your TV set or if you're watching on your computer, you can actually use your phone to pull up basically the TTS description for this channel, and it shows you what sounds and what voices are available. Because you can actually do different sound effects and different voices, have a little bit of fun, but please still try and be respectful. We do appreciate that. We definitely appreciate that. But it's always good to have a little bit of fun and levity in the show, and that's we like doing that too. And look, that blue number, Holly, is in the chat as well. Hello, Holly. So great to have her here. Oh my gosh, it's like I said, amazing members of the community. And Holly, since you're just jumping on, I'll let you know too that if you do see any disruptors in the chat, people getting a little too, I don't know,
Send them to Hades.
you can definitely time them out. You have the power, darling. You have the power. Same with Lotus too. He has the power as well. All right. So don't make these people mad. Don't make them angry. You won't like them when they're angry. Just kidding. All right. So let's get this started. Where are we going to go? Some of my favorite gentlemen. Aw, thanks. You're the best. Hopefully you're going to make it in June. Love to get to meet you in person. That'd be awesome. But yeah, so June is going to be a whole new animal. What do you want? Oh my gosh, I'm so stuttering. There's just so much news and stuff to talk about. Hargeet, you've seen the list of topics. I think they're on here on the notes as well too. If you want to kind of glance through them. There's different angles, pretty much some of them, one leads into the next kind of thing. So there's different breakdowns. And
so let's start with Elder Scrolls. Let's go with that one because I want King's gonna be here at some point. I want him to weigh in on both the Sony and Xbox news because he'll have plenty to talk about there. So
Exactly. And I'm going to let you actually start on that for just a second, kind of tell them what you know about it. And then I'm going to pull up the actual link because that wasn't one I had queued up, but I do have it. I just got to get it queued up real quick. So
yeah, I actually have not had a chance to actually delve into the interview. I wish I could actually have watched the interview with Kind of Funny, but Todd was on with Kind of Funny, and one of the things he mentioned is that they're using a Creation Engine 3.0. These are just things that I've peripherally heard.
Mhm.
So they're revamping Creation Engine a bit because I don't want people want to kind of move away from Creation Engine because they want to see visuals.
I guess I won't say my @destin comment that got me a timeout in the Italian Lords podcast. Man shrugging emoji.
Well, Mac, we probably appreciate the no slander on people in the community. But I understand not everybody can agree with everybody. So, and that's just the way it is. Go ahead, Hargeet. Sorry.
Yeah, so but the thing is, the creation engine is kind of the core of a Bethesda game, like the way they make everything and the way they allow people then in the community to make it. So look, Unreal has some capabilities there too, but they've really just made this engine to make those games, and so they're just continually updating them. That doesn't mean they couldn't take advantage of features. Just think of Oblivion, right? The remaster they made, a remake, whatever you want to call that. They still had creation engine underneath it, and then they just layered on the graphical output is using UE. They could still do some pretty fancy things there, but either way, they're going to have creation engine 3.0. That was one of the things they mentioned, that he mentioned, and then that they are kind of going back to sort of the core Elder Scrolls type mentality when they're making Elder Scrolls 6. Which is, I think it's welcome news for those who want to, play within that realm, right? We have the sort of space opera thing with Starfield. We have the, Fallout, atomic, destruction world, whatever, right? So you have that. And then you have like the fantasy world that Elder Scrolls kind of gives you. And some people like the fantasy world. Some people like the more like, the Fallout world. I think I like both, but I kind of really like the Elder Scrolls world a bit more. I like kind of the fantastical, right? So I think that's kind of cool. So if they're going back to it, that's cool. Having not watched the rest of it, the things I would have liked to see, and I don't know if they were asked or not of Todd, is how are you? We got gifted, so I'm going to put that up. We got Bunty with 10 WebDave memberships gifted. That's awesome.
Thank you
very
so much, sir. Really appreciate your generosity.
Are they going to look at the landscape and say we need to modernize some of this, right? So it can't just be something Skyrim is, what was it, 2012, 2013? It was a long time ago, right? We're talking almost 10, 15 years ago, especially by the time this game comes out. You can't just put out the same kind of thing. It's just not going to fit because there's been so much in between. I hope they're taking that into account. And again, I have not heard the interview, so he may have actually gotten over that. But that's the one thing I'm looking for is like, yes, old style, bring back Elder Scrolls type mentality, great faction things, great like exploration. There's stuff everywhere. That's awesome. That's great. But you also have to modernize a bit in the presentation, in the way you're interacting with the world. Things just need to become a bit more new, right? And look, they did a lot of that with Oblivion, so it gives you a good, potential that, hey, they understand. Yes, there are things you need to change as you come up with a new game in this time versus what you did, a decade and a half ago. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully they will do that. But so far so good. It sounded pretty good. I don't know if he even went into timelines, but my guess is this is years out. So that's kind of just peripherally what I've heard. I have not, unfortunately, watched the full interview, but I think it's kind of interesting that there's some communications going on, right? Which means this might be coming up. So I'm putting out hope that we might actually see this game in some format in June. I would love to see some sort of teaser that, hey, this game is coming in the next couple of years, and here's what you get to see. But hey, maybe I'm wrong, but like I would love to see this game show up again. Elder Scrolls is a beloved franchise. I certainly love Elder Scrolls, so I would love to see what they're doing with it. So we'll see where they go. But you've got something up. I can potentially read that.
Yeah, this was another part of that interview, which is where you talked about Starfield.
Yes, this is another one, which is what I've been saying this too. Is like I don't want people to think that they're gonna have a massive upgrade. This is why the 2.0 stuff has been bugging me. It's like, don't think of this as like a massive departure from where they were. There's going to be some quality of life things here and there, but it's not going to be like, hey, it's a whole new way to play this game or experience this game. And he basically debunked that and said, no, this is not a 2.0 reboot. It's just, he's saying basically that, it's, they're still working on it. It's still there. And they are going to have some changes. So I'll just read his quote. Todd Howard shuts down Starfield's 2.0 reboot and expects Starfield news soonish, which hopefully will happen in the next few months. Obviously, we've been working on a lot of Starfield content. I can tell everybody we are going to be talking about the new content really soon. We're moving into a phase where we're ready to talk about Starfield and really show that in the right way and what's coming to the game. We've been doing a lot of work that we like a lot. I've seen some of that. So for expectation setting, I think it's the kind of thing where if you love Starfield, we think you're going to love this. It's updates and things that change the game, not in an isolated way, but sort of meta, using outer space and things in ways that we haven't. But look, if Starfield is something that didn't connect with you right away, or you bounced off it, or found it boring in places, I don't think this is going to change that fundamentally. So I don't know if there's more beyond that, but
yeah, let me scroll down just a little bit. Sorry, I was replying to King. He says, I'm in the storm at the moment. He will be here very soon. But we want him, and I told him, I said, drive safe. Your safety is most important. So let me scroll down here a little bit more.
And then Greg asked for a time frame on when to expect news of this new Starfield update. Todd said soonish. I think it's in the next few months. If I had to guess, something in the April-ish time frame, but
that's the rumor for the release on PS5. So
yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where I would put it. But yeah, so
yeah, there you go.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, but what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so my thoughts are, I was one of the people that were pushing the rumored 2.0, right? And I got a lot of pushback from the community, and and fair pushback, not egregious in any way. And the first thing that was said by most gamers is that it didn't need a 2.0 like Cyberpunk did, and they're 100% right. I've been a gamer for a very long time. I love Todd Howard as a creator and as a director and as a leader. I think what they did with Starfield, that extra year delay, because remember, it got delayed over a year. And that's because it was seen, and whatever the situation was with Phil at the time, he didn't like what it might have been another typical Bethesda type of release. And guess what? Starfield wasn't that. Starfield was probably their best launched game ever. And I've played all of their games. You can say what you want about the not flying to space and not landing your ship like other games, and that's all fine and good. But the game is a mastercraft design from top to bottom. No one talks about this because it's really, again, it's engaging for numbers and clicks if you take a dump on Starfield, but their new game plus should become the standard, because if you've never beaten the game, and again, I don't want to kind of ruin it for anyone, but I mean, the game's years old. Look, I know of 13 different endings or beginnings after you beat the game. And the two that I will throw out there, and again, this is not really, I mean, you can call it, the game's 3 years old, folks, so close your ears if you don't want to be spoiled. I had a good buddy of mine that played it. I think he played it through it like 8 times. And one of the playthroughs, when he started the game over, everyone was dead. That means everybody was everybody, the dead, just bones. And there was another playthrough that started off where everyone was children, kids. Yes, wow. That is absolutely correct. So yes, the way that they did their new game plus should be the standard, because you are logistically getting a really new experience. But again, everyone wanted to hate on it. What I'm actually hoping for, and maybe this is not even part of the conversation because I know we're talking about Todd. For Todd and his team, that, millions of people bought the game, millions of people played the game, both on PC and Xbox. What I'm actually hoping for, and I hate actually saying this because it's almost like I'm literally bending the knee to the PlayStation community when I say this. When it's finally released on PlayStation, I can guarantee you're going to see a complete 180 with how people treat this game. I really, really in my heart believe that. And again, this is not PlayStation players. See, I have to say that because some people want to rope those gamers in with the ponies. They're not the same breed, man. PlayStation gamers, who that is their main console to game on, are just gamers that like PlayStation. There's nothing wrong with that. It's
Right.
the POSs and the a-holes of the world that don't let you see their trophy list because they don't have one, because they don't play PlayStation, they play Twitter, and those are the ones, of course, that are the loudest. So what I'm actually hoping for is that I want to see Todd Howard and the team that spent years making this game get the acolytes that they deserve and really see this game score well. And whether it's a full-on 2.0 or just a 1.1 or whatever you want to call it, I'm very excited to pick the game up again and see what they did and how they changed. And obviously, we've been talking for the last 15 minutes. We haven't even mentioned the fact that when this PS5 version and this update comes to both PC and Xbox, we're probably getting the new DLC, the new expansion.
Mm-hmm.
So of course I'm going to be racing back to jump into this thing. But listen, that's my take on it. For Todd and for that team, I am hoping that Starfield, whether it be 1.1 or 2.0, and its release on PlayStation 5, does see a serious resurgence because the game is just amazing. It just really is.
I agree with that 100%. It truly is an amazingly great game. And along your lines, I think you're right. I think once it actually hits the PlayStation and they can actually get a hold of it, and then they'll you're going to hear stories about how much better the PlayStation 5 Pro makes it look than when I played it the first time, and how Picture Tech has really made it better, and you're going to hear all that kind of bullshit that they're going to try and throw at us. But we know what's up. We know what's up. But we know that's coming, and it's going to be so funny. It's like it's the same game with some tweaks and some changes, some upgrades, and now you can play it too. Yeah, I guess but on Game Pass, so we didn't have to pay for it. It was already included in Game Pass. Just
well, the one thing I will say first of all, my accent made it sound like I said accolades. It's accolades, not acolytes. So shout out to Game Adaptation Newscast. No, it's not acolytes like in Star Wars, accolades, but it's my New York accent. Sorry for you. But the one thing that we can say with full authority, ladies and gentlemen, is the a-hole from IGN, the reviews editor that reviewed it not once but twice to give it a 7.0. Well, yep. He retired from IGN. So, whether he's retired or sent packing, I have no idea, but he won't be there to shit on Starfield again. So thank goodness for that.
He won't be missed. But anyway, big shout out to Tony from the Plume Network, the Plume Gaming Network.
What's up, Plume?
Oh,
Plume,
yeah,
brother.
Amazing content provider for sure. Puts out some amazing, great content. You guys need to check out all his stuff. And I like his comment there, Pisser Tech, and he laughs. Yeah, we're a little slanderous tonight, but that is okay. Hey, Scrub Nurse Gaming is in here as well. Scrub Nurse, great to see you. I was on the show last night with 108 Dragons Lemons show, and was hoping to see Scrub Nurse, but he was jamming. He was playing a gig, man, doing some drumming. Yeah, man. I love it. But we'll hook up again for sure. We'll have you back on here as well too. Love to have that. Gosh, it's Hargee. Where do we want to go now, man? There's like I said, King David is going to be coming in a little bit, but we're gonna, like I said, he's driving in the snow right now. I had to run to the store because there's a big snowstorm in the area, as Mr. Boomstick is well aware of what's going on there. I'm glad it is not here in Kentucky. We had that a couple weeks ago, and I hated that shit. Camaro was stayed in the driveway for a week because it was not getting out. It was more like a snow shovel the way my front end is designed. It would not have. It would have been a plow. No, thank you.
Camaro, yeah, that's
Not
a tough
having it.
one in the winters out here.
Right.
Anyway, so yeah, maybe we should we can talk about this Netflix and Take-Two Bioshock film to coincide with the release of potential new incarnations of the game. We know there isn't a game coming in, so do you have something queued up for that?
Well, I had a lot of stuff queued up, and then news bomb again happened the other day, and now my timeline, my saved click for is like the first 20 minutes is nothing but about the events of the last day or two. So yeah, it's a little deeper, but I will find something. I know I put it in the notes. I'm like, you think I would? Can
I take a moment to say that I have become an achievement hunter. I never thought I would hit 1 million. Right, so after the work I've been putting in this month. I have to shout myself out because I'm very proud. It's the most achievements I've ever had in 1 month in my entire life. Currently 57,355 this month.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's now it's I'm going for 1 million. I'm almost at 500,000, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna for the 25th anniversary of the Xbox. My goal is to hit 1 million gamer score. That's what I want.
So you're saying there might be another
The man with the million.
Oh.
Absolutely, yes. And Rand did a great job the other day. Yes, that's
Here
right.
now, boys.
we are. Day Rizzy, thank you so much for that, Day Rizzy.
Oh wow, that's leave it for Day to say something like that.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's the booty here. Yeah, that's right.
That's one way to put it. Yeah. Jeez.
That is going.
Verge Bizzle, listen. He says I've been playing these smaller games. They're easy achievements. A couple of things, Verge. You got to buy the games. Number one, which I bought a lot of them. You got to play through them. Some of them I played 20 hours, 25 hours to get all the achievements. And for me, I don't want to get involved in any big games right now because Resident Evil is next week, and right after that is Crimson Desert. So I'm playing only small stuff because I really want to leave room for the big stuff. But you still got to play the games. You just don't turn it on and hey, there's 5,000 achievement score. But some of them do give you 5,000. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm like Dave looks lost. Well, that's because I'm hitting.
That's probably you have 17 things open. That's what happened to me the other day. Like across the top, I had tabs. The tabs are normally like this big. I had so many that were like this big. I couldn't even read what they were. So that's probably what you're dealing with. So. Yep.
Let's see if I have that. Is that the article right there? No.
I think it should have read this out, but just in case.
Yeah, I'll let you do it.
Genesis Fan 01 became a YouTube member.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And,
if you don't know, he's formerly known as Abacab72 because of these new dumb things that YouTube made people use. They do @ instead of their actual name. So
there we go. Okay, I've got it now.
Nice.
Let me pull this up here. Let me add that to the screen, and I will say thank you to the over 234 people watching us live on both X and on YouTube, and also in the if you wanted to chat in YouTube, you can use the emojis that are there, which is nice. We even have the Mr. Boomstick emoji, King's emoji, my emoji, and a whole lot of others. Over 30 emojis in there right now if you'd have a little fun with. And oh my goodness, look at that.
Scrub Nurse, shout out to Scrub Nurse. Gifts 10 WebDave memberships.
Very kind of you, sir. There's my brother from another legendary Yobi in the chat. Salute to you, my brother.
Let's see. What's Yobi talking about here? Let me pull that. Do you see that one that Yobi just posted?
Yeah, he said it says at WebDave. Also, don't forget the chick who worked for IGN who reviewed Starfield based off of her coworkers. Oh wow. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Yep.
All right. So From 2K. Well, damn it, Netflix, a Bioshock movie. Okay, by the way, the incredible folks at Cloud Chamber are developing the next Bioshock game, and their team is growing. Would you kindly check out their open positions? All right. Netflix geeked, I guess. Whatever. So I think is that a Netflix specific account? But anyways, we all make choices, but in the end, our choices make us. That's a quote. Netflix with Bioshock. Would you kindly stay tuned? That's funny. Would you kindly? Those who have played Bioshock, you would know that reference. I will not go any further.
Course.
Yeah, and that actually came off of the 2K server. That was actually one of their posts. They reposted that, retweeted that from Netflix Geek. So I thought that was kind of cool. So, yep. So it's it's gonna be big. It's gonna be pretty exciting. I don't know if I can find any more information about it or not, but let me see what I can find. Let me do on the fly here.
I will say though, gentlemen and chat, what I love about the success of something like Fallout, is it real? I mean, that's real success.
@Easy celebrates 20 months of membership. C3P0. Oh dear, I have a bad feeling about this. Xbox may not survive this time. Shout out to Mr. Bram, Hargeet and Boom with extra olives and mustard.
There you go.
Nice.
At
Mac 22 TH54 celebrates 13 months of membership.
There you go. All right, Day Rizzy, just so you are aware.
Did he freeze?
Yeah, he's frozen for me. Oh, there he is. He's coming back, maybe?
Now we're back.
Yeah, now you're back. Okay.
All right. So, Day Rizzy, if you click on that, or should I say, if you hold up your phone and you do the QR code scan, it's a TTS and it shows you all the sound voices that are available on my TTS. I don't have the highest tier yet because I'm just getting started on it. I want to make sure I got this worked out before I started jumping up to the higher paid tiers. But that lets you know exactly what voices are available and also what sound effects are available if you use them in my chat today. C3PO, unfortunately, is the next level up, which will be soon, but I just don't have it yet. So I just want you to thinking, why isn't it working? And that's why. So, but we do appreciate you, sir, greatly. Oh, look, it's Ray's in the chat too. Ray.
Yeah, Ray. Salute you, brother.
There you go. All righty. We'll put that away. It's also in the description below if you want to click on that as well. I'm sorry to interrupt, guys. Parris Lilly is in the chat as well. Parris.
Hey, Parris, what's going on, brother? Now Xbox is dead. Cancel welfare pass and wait for greatness. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. I'm joining Team Parris. Xbox is dead. Not really, but I'm joining Team Parris nonetheless.
You need to draw a line through that and mark it and write in PlayStation is dead. Maybe be more along the lines of correctness. Just saying.
There it is.
Shout out to Parris.
Oh my goodness. I love it.
Oh, there we go. Oh, goodness. He is the Undertaker, that's for sure.
Oh,
like that. See, there you go. PlayStation's dead. All right. Show can continue. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Ray is 7 in. Wow, he's tall. Sorry.
Ray is a 7 out of 10. Okay.
Oh,
wow.
I thought it was height. I thought they was talking about his height. Sorry.
Well, if he was 7 feet, I'd be afraid of that man. That's for sure. That's Undertaker level right there.
Okay. Oh, I don't know if I can find this again. Hargeet. Oh shit.
Yeah, but either way, so Boom, what do you think about the Bioshock?
You know what?
Movie.
I like the idea. It does seem like there is a content war brewing between the bigs, and who wins? We do, because we get all of these incredible IPs that come to fruition. I mean, some, haven't been great, and obviously some have been just magnificent. You go back to Halo season 1, season 2 a lot better. Netflix buys it. They're apparently going to be doing a season 3 and rebooting it, which is awesome. They have the Gears of War IP. Now they have the Bioshock. Then of course you look over at Amazon, and they have all the IPs that they're working on there. It's between that and Disney Plus, and it's
Ray a lot of 5 out of 10 because he's half a man.
Oh Jesus! Okay, look at that.
Oh, dang, Day Reezy. Sting. All righty.
Damn.
Oh yeah, so that's my thoughts on it.
I'm sorry, Boom. It gets a little messy in here sometimes now. I don't know where this happened. Why did I do this to myself? Oh, good.
So the interesting thing with Bioshock is, I don't know, did you all play all three of them?
Yeah,
Played the
I've
first two.
multiple times too. I love them.
So you didn't play the third one, WebDave? Okay, so the thing with where they went with that is it allows you to really kind of create a whole new universe. Because if I don't know how much spoilery this is. I mean, this is a
it's
360
100 years
game.
old, brother. I wouldn't worry so much about
So-
spoilers
Come
at
on.
this point.
So Bioshock 1 takes you in one direction with the universe, right? And then by Bioshock 3, you find out that there's a multiverse of potential options of where
Yes.
that world could have gone. And so the beauty of this is they literally have an IP that says, go to town and make a whole other thing. You don't
make your
have to
own.
go
Make it
with
your own.
whatever you have right now in the games, right?
Wow.
So it doesn't even have to follow Bioshock 4 in any way. It doesn't have to follow Bioshock 1 or 2 or 3. You can go in any direction you want as long as it has the mixture of the tones of what they are talking about, right? And that was kind of the constant, was like choice and illusion of choice, and like a world where you try to control everybody, and where does that end up? And so there's all sorts of cool undertones of thoughts and experiments of human development and human co-mingling of how they work together, right? That was this whole experiment of Bioshock, right? And how that worked out when you say, no, we're going to extricate ourselves from the larger society and do our own thing. And then it invariably went not so great. And so but they had totally disjoint things. And so it's like they could absolutely take this in any direction, which I think is a very cool thing from a movie's perspective, right? When
Yep.
they did that to Halo and they sort of veered away from the canon, that felt annoying, okay? Because you're like, no, I know Master Chief. This is Master Chief. This is not how he would be. This is how he would be, right? Because we already know the story. But Bioshock sets itself up in a way that says it doesn't have to follow anything. It can totally go different ways. And if you want to have something that fits within a movie, they can. I think this has a good chance of making a strong movie, because like the undercurrents and the tones are very easy to put into a movie. And I think they would work well, right? Because a lot of that is standard Hollywood fare anyway, right? So I think it would actually work pretty well in that. I just hope it actually comes out okay, right? So like we'll see how they do, as far as the movie, the construct of it. Now, I don't know who's going to actually do this, because I have not paid attention to it at all as far as who's producing, who's directing, because that will matter, right? They need to understand what Bioshock is, right? So, and I don't know if there's anybody from the team that made Bioshock that's actually helping, a la Todd with the Fallout TV series, where he's like telling them exactly what it needs to be, right? I don't know if there is anything like that in there. So we will see where they go with it, right? You could have a very a crazy offshoot that has very little to do with the themes that are in Bioshock, or you could have a very good offshoot that does actually cover all those themes. So it's an interesting one, right? There's definitely a potential here. Doesn't have to be constrained by the guardrails of what we already know in canon, because there is no canon except for the themes. So that's going to be very interesting. So I think this has actually a pretty good potential. It just depends on who's making it and if they pay attention enough, right? And then hopefully, because this could be very good from a Hollywood perspective, right? So for open, outside of gaming audiences, right? And say, we're just making a movie that happens to have the same themes. And these themes are pretty universal, right? So I think it would be very cool to have that just be open to any audience, but also call back into anybody who has played some of the games and give you those little callbacks, right, to the game. So I think that's pretty cool. I think it could work pretty well. So anyways, those are my quick thoughts. We finally get King David's here.
Bro, I apologize. We are hit with a severe snowstorm. But at the same time, I was doing a whole bunch of stuff. Like my wife just came back. So I just had to go and made sure that all the stuff that she needed was locked down. So so with her medication and all that other stuff. So, but she's doing fantastic. And everything is closed over here. So the only thing that was open was BJ.
Tomorrow everything's gonna be closed too, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Everything's locked down.
I told people, I said, no work tomorrow.
Yeah. What are you gonna do, right?
Exactly.
So King, we're talking about the Netflix and Take-Two announcing like sort of they want to make sure the game and the movie come out at around the same time. So that was where we were talking about. I don't know if you had any thoughts on that or not.
Well, what game in particular? I'm sorry, I'm just.
It's Bioshock, a game and movie coming out around the same time.
Oh, I mean, transmedia right now is exactly where everything is going to go. If you want your audience to grow, you're going to have to reach across lines that aren't familiar. You know, I was trying to explain to the daring one who was on the podcast today on Iron Lords earlier. Are we influencing our children when it comes to putting our video games in front of them? Because he said he went to GameStop and they were both online to get the Switch. Well, both his kids went with him. And I said, well, they asked you for a Switch? He was like, no, they just wanted to go with me. Right. And I think now what I've learned as far as being a parent, I operate from a place of not having because I grew up and I didn't have. Right. So very early on, and this is very hood mentality, very ghetto mentality, I guess, very broke mentality. You overcompensate, you know, where your feet can only wear one pair of shoes at a time. I would buy 10 pair of shoes, right? And with that same mentality with my children, growing up, I would buy them like 3-4 pair of shoes. But noticed that they only care about one pair of shoes. And the other shoes, when they get a chance to wear them, they already outgrew them, right? So I finally realized, I said, well, I can't put my dogma on them. I can't put my insecurities on them. And I pulled that back. With video games, what I've noticed is that us guys that care about consoles, that care about all this other stuff, us graybeards, us, you know, get off my lawn individuals, we place video games on our children, right? Did they gravitate to it? Did they say, hey, mom, dad, I want this? Or did they look at you and see that you had so much joy for it and sat down next to you and wanted to be a part of that same experience? And through proxy, this is our only bonding culture. We bond through games. That's how I met every last one of you, right? It's through games and through our shared community. So this is how we cope. This is how we connect. Children nowadays don't connect that way. They connect in various different ways. And video games, I'm sorry to break it to people, consoles aren't it for them. I'm watching my son play Roblox on his phone. I had asked him before I got the PlayStation 5 Pro, hey, do you want the PlayStation 5? He's like, not really, but I do want a MetaQuest. I'm like, okay, that's okay. Didn't see that coming, you know, because in my head, I'm like, you either got to be a Nintendo guy or Xbox guy or PlayStation guy. And he's none of those. He is gaming agnostic, right? So now my wife wants to know more about Fallout, bringing it back to the transmedia, wants to know more about Fallout. She's not a gamer, no gaming bone in her body, but she watched the show. And from watching the show, I gave her the Fallout on her tablet, Shelters. She plays Shelters based upon a show that she liked, based upon a game that I love, right? So transmedia is going to start bringing people into the fold based upon the ease of use of how to get them in. So if you coincide a good release with a good movie, good. You're going to get those people curious, and then you must have a product in order for them to touch. So good, but hopefully you have a product that meets them where they want to be met. If it's mobile, if it's laptops, if it's any devices. And I love that 2K decided to say, good, we're going to partner with these guys. We're going to make sure that this stuff is done because it improves that we're not growing in this space. this space is actually shrinking. If we can lose 24% of new children, new adopters growing into the space, we got to figure out how can we get them back? How can we grow that base so we don't perish? Because again, closed ecosystems and closed ideology or launching games in a vacuum is a recipe of disaster. So
I'm sorry. I just look at Paris put in there.
oh, what up, Paris? How you doing? You was on when I wasn't on Iron Lord, so there you go. I'm on. You're not. Paris, we don't occupy the same space. We are the same person. Stop acting. I just put on shades, right? That's it. You know, it's like Clark Kent, Superman. He takes off the shades. Superman flies around. You're the Superman, and I'm Clark Kent. Let's go.
So
Shoot.
Paris, if you want to come on, I've sent you the link. You are always welcome.
You know that.
Always welcome.
Do not cross the streams. Don't cross
Don't
the
cross the
streams.
streams. Don't do it. Don't do it.
That's right. That's right. We thought-
Unless you're trying to defeat Gozer, in which case, let's go cross the streams.
There you go. There you go.
By the way, all right. So let's go on to the next fun topic.
Let's add this to the stage here. We'll go ahead and start this.
Go to Bluepoint. All right.
Yeah, we'll get this out of the way. He says, maybe I will. Well, you're more than welcome to, sir. If you want to, you're more than welcome to. But that's up to you. No ifs. All right. So Hargeet, I'll let you read that, and we'll go from there.
All right.
Wait,
we got it. We don't remember chat. Hold on.
P_lump celebrates 14 months of membership. Stop the madness. Play my theme song. Family will stand on business. We ain't going anywhere. We right here. Shout out to the panel and chat.
Blessings.
Well, let's play his theme song.
Watch him roll it, watch him go, watch him roll it, watch him go. He be rolling down the street, he be rolling to the beat.
There you go.
Yikes.
Hey.
All right.
Oh, winter emergency. Mayor Mondani has issued a state of emergency in New York City.
Yep.
Travel ban is in effect. Bow.
Glad you got out when you
All
did.
right.
That's it. It's over.
If you guys are in for the night, we're gonna have a good podcast. I'm just kidding.
All right.
And like I said to you, I don't interrupt. Sorry, Hargeet. Just to say this, that I mean, obviously, you guys both have things that are going on, and if you guys need to dip out early or dip out at any time, do not. Much respect to both of you. So I totally understand, and do not expect you to be on just longer to get your bars off. So, like I said, just I appreciate both of y'all being here, especially in the conditions that are going on. But if you need to take off, it's all good. Everybody in the chat will understand. If they don't, welcome.
I just got here.
I don't want you to leave. I'm just you the opportunity.
I'm messing with you.
You know that. You know. All right. So, Hargeet, let's read this topic, and then we're going to get on to the one.
All right. Bluepoint Games were masters at remaking and remastering games. God of War collection, the Ico and Shadow of the Colossus collection, Metal Gear. Oh, here we go. We have a new member here. Metal Gear Solid HD collection, Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection, Gravity Rush remastered, Shadow of the Colossus, and Demon Souls. They made what many consider to be the best PS5 launch game now gone. Putting them on a live service game never seemed right. All right. My thoughts on this? Oh my God.
Yeah, your thoughts.
I love these
Let's
guys.
get on.
All right. So another day, another studio closed by PlayStation. The incompetent, ridiculous, PlayStation that cannot actually do anything with their studios. And I've been calling it out, and I think it really just needs to be called out by the industry at this point. They just can't manage their studios. I'm sorry, they've canceled more games than put out. They're just ridiculous at this point. Now, Bluepoint's main failure was going with God of War. What they needed to do was use the only IP that matters to Herman Hulse, which is Horizon. So if they made a Horizon game, they had a 50% chance of actually staying alive. Unfortunately, they chose God of War, and Herman doesn't give two shits about it. They put out that stupid Sons of whatever thing, and he saw what Jaffe said about that. That's as far as they're going to go with God of War. You either make the big AAA thing or you get this little meh whatever thing. That was never going to work, unfortunately, and so Bluepoint now shuttered. They made them make a game that, like, well, I don't know if they made them or not. Maybe Bluepoint went and said, "Hey, we want to make something different." Morons. No, you should stick to what you can do, and you know what to do when it comes to remasters and remakes. You should have just kept making remasters and remakes. It's not like they went to a company that has like no freaking IPs. They have tons of IPs that are sitting there languishing, doing jack shit. They could have been remaking games the whole time. Everybody wants Bloodborne. Yeah, but they have plenty of other stuff. Bloodborne will be locked down by From Software. So don't even entangle yourself with that. Go to the stuff you freaking own that you've made and go remake that. That is what Bluepoint's entire purpose was. Why the heck were they making a stupid God of War multiplayer game? Anyway, whatever. This is, again, the incompetence of PlayStation Studios. People keep saying how PlayStation can do no wrong. No, they have fucked PlayStation Studios over the last 5 to 10 years since freaking Jim Ryan took over. It has been a shit show. They've had the worst game in fucking history of gaming in Concord that was shut down in less than 2 weeks and spent $500 million and shuttled it, just fucking flushed it down the toilet. Do not tell me PlayStation has any competence whatsoever. I'm sick to death of the bullshit. Are they so consoles? I don't care. I don't care. They're a fucking McDonald's. Everybody knows it, so they buy it. It's shit. It's shit. They can't make games. They have like 3 studios that know how to make games. The rest are fucking crap. They have Haven making what exactly? What are they making? Is anybody interested in that game?
Well, I mean, that's if that game isn't, according to Detective Seeds, there's going to be multiple studio closures happening this year. Haven's going to be one of them for sure.
And they have others. I would not be surprised seeing 3 or 4 more studios shut down.
Well, Ben, remember, they canceled what Ben was working on, and now they're working on something else, and, you know.
Maybe. Media Molecule. I don't know. Fire Sprite. I don't know. Tell me what these guys are working on. Is there something that we can look forward to? I don't know, man. These guys are.
Go ahead.
What was that?
No, I will go. You go ahead. I'll say this in a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, like, to me, PlayStation lives on the fact that it's got the name PlayStation, and that's literally it. Okay. Oh, their games are so good. This generation, their games have sucked. I'm sorry, but it is. Their games have sucked. They have not lived up to what they did in the PS4 gen. The games have been okay. They're basically rinse, repeat of what they've done in PS4. And then the rest of them, they've had like, what, 2 new games and 2 new IPs? Like, what was it? The Housemarque games? Is that it? Like, do they have anything else that's new? They don't do anything else. They had Concord. Brilliant. Yeah, okay. That's about it. Now, like, what have they shown us? This is who PlayStation is. I'm just sick of the, like, I think people are finally waking up to this. I've been in this boat for the longest time saying they don't know how to make games. They just don't. They've canceled and canceled and canceled and canceled, and all they've been doing is lather, rinse, repeat of what they've did in PS4. Where's the new stuff? Where is it? That's just where they are. Okay, they go third-party lockdowns. Oh yeah, that's great. Nice. Okay, thanks. So basically, we can't get in other platforms because you said so. Okay, great. Like, that's basically all they've been doing, and I'm just done with the bullshit of PlayStation. What an annoying company. Like, fine, you want to keep doing your lockdowns, third-party games, and that's how you keep yourself afloat. Good. I'm just kind of done with them. Thank God I don't need their fucking console. I can play games on my PC whenever they put anything out that I actually care about, which is like not a lot. It's not a lot.
They're just a closed storefront.
That's what they are. It's absolute garbage. Anyway, but that's who PlayStation is, and they will be shuttering more of their studios. They're gonna be left with like 5 studios at the end of this. I don't even know what happens with Marathon. Good luck to Bungie. I hope it actually works out. Bungie may be another one of the
last trailer. I'm sorry, that game looks terrible.
Hey, it is what it is. Like, if Bungie may be on the chopping block, whatever. They have basically flushed everything down the toilet in the last 10 years. I just am so sick of freaking PlayStation. Whatever. But I've been calling it out. I hope the rest of the industry is caught up, and it's time to call them out. They suck at managing their studios.
The industry is never going to call them out, Hargeet. So the way that changes is Microsoft's strategy. They're never going to call them out because remember, they're full of individuals that probably jumped on during the PlayStation 4 era, and then some of those that are old enough that jumped on during the PlayStation 3 or the PlayStation 2 are in positions of voice. And they have nostalgic ties to a device that they have built a dogma around. And just the same way that I was telling you about parents putting their games onto the children, they are putting their dogma into their scripts when they're talking about it, their biases. I mean, I have my own bias, of course, but my bias is based upon the ecosystem that I feel is superior, not based upon numbers of sales. Because again, when I go inside a store, I purchase one console. I really don't give a damn if somebody else comes behind me and purchases a console or not, as long as they got mine that I needed, as long as they got my copy.
Facts.
So it's that language that is tied around those things that forces people to believe something. So when you go inside a store and you have a manager that tells the people, his employees, you'll listen, by his own bias, not by something that's written, you'll make sure that you push the PlayStation as a superior platform X, Y, and Z. The employee that really doesn't know anything. Oh, the PlayStation, this, that, and the third. You come in, they're going to recommend the PlayStation. They're going to put the PlayStation here. They're going to say this based upon this. And sometimes people will play a game and they want somebody else to play the game. And if that game is exclusive to the console, yo, listen, you can only get it here. PlayStation is the best place to play X, Y, and Z. And it's cool to pass that dogma on, but I don't think it changes like how we traditionally had it changed. Usually every generation it resets and then is a start from square. That's not happening any longer. We are at a place right now where our digital identities form our lives. So we have to meet people where they are. And I don't see PlayStation doing that. That's how it's going to die out based upon that, because I don't see consoles still being a thing. I see at some point consoles is going to die. And I think this is the last generation for the traditional console. I think the PlayStation 5 Pro is the last console. Hashtag no PlayStation 6. You know what it is. I'm going to run it up on these bums. I'm going to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. And that's based upon knowing that they're not in the business of selling $900 to $800 machines. I just don't believe that that's their base. And we're not going back. Once we make a dollar amount on a console, that threshold has been breached. Once it's breached, it doesn't go back. So now you're looking at the PlayStation 5 Pro that set a precedence for PlayStation in price point. You cannot sell a new device at a cheaper price point because it's a superior product. So with people with thoughts in their mind of getting a $500 PlayStation 6 or even a $700 PlayStation 6, forget about it. It's going to come with no wires. It's going to come with no controllers, no disk drive, and you're going to have to buy HDMI slots. Don't you believe it? Okay, when I told you Xbox, see, people don't come for me when I say Xbox is selling their next device for $14.99. Oh, I'll never buy that. We'll see about that. But if you think, see, that Steam machine would have came out already. It would have came out February. It would have been launching sometime in March if they were coming out at $500-$600. This RAM has got Gabe like, what was I thinking? Now I got all this warehouse, all this stuff. There's a reason why you can't go buy a Steam Deck. There's a reason why all of them is off the market, because they want to produce fake FOMO to get your ass into the store to buy this $900 to $1,000 weak device that's weaker than a PlayStation 5 base or a regular Xbox Series X. So now you're looking at the industry, they're pricing us out. We're here now. So again, when I say hashtag no PlayStation 6, I can laugh at each and every last one of these guys talking about it's coming, King. And when it happens, I want to see what you say. I'm going to say, wow, I didn't believe Sony would sell a $900 machine and it's going to be grand opening, grand closing the same way they did Concord, because that thing going to sit on the damn shelf. Sorry, Hargeet. I didn't want to jump into that, but I do apologize because I get triggered by the thought of people using common sense, knowing what a superior platform is, day and date in a service. I'm so sick and tired of you guys talking about I buy my games, I support the devs. Well, Bluepoint ain't been supported So what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
All y'all buying games over at PlayStation, how come they closed 7 studios in 5 years? Xbox closed, what, 5 studios? BS. They only closed 3 of them because 2 was sold and 1 was able to go someplace else to do their thing, but double back in. Xbox doesn't really close anything. The initiative closed. Yeah, okay, we get it. It was dysfunctional. We gonna take that. We gonna eat that. But you went out and targeted Bluepoint and you closed them by putting them on live service games when they're a remake studio. Sorry, I don't buy the, I don't drink the Kool-Aid, man. I've been said poor management, but you still got the one guy in there that he is the cause of all of it. Herman Hulst with his nepotism when it comes to Guerrilla Games is really disgusting. I saw Horizon Hunters Gathering, the worst DEI and most inclusive game that I've ever seen. This tablet game is the game that they push, and they take God of War and destroy him. They've destroyed themselves. They put out a $30, $5 game. I don't know what the hell is going on over there, but I know this. I know by the end of this generation, you're going to probably be able to pick up baseball, another service game, some retro games, and they're going to be a third-party storefront that they make money off of third-party games being sold through their storefront because you guys still drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, well, I got a little bit of some swagger I'd like to add to both Hargeet's ridiculous rant and, of course, what King had to say. So, look, King is right. They've closed a numerous amount of studios, and it's funny because mismanagement is something you've heard used for Xbox. And granted, yeah, you know, for many years before where they are, since you go back to like 2021, they had a banger year. 22 was a disastrous year for it. But since then, 23, 24, 25, and 26 is ridiculous. Now, granted, there's a lot that's been happening in Xbox land, sure, and the guys are going to get to it. But let me just sprinkle a little bit more on top of this shit Sunday, okay? Sony's failures in the last 5 years. I'm not going back 10 or 15, just 5 years, folks. Just 5 years. Concord. We keep going back to it. If you didn't know, it's the biggest disaster in gaming history. Sony took a $400 million bath on that game over the 7 years it was in development. Game came out, grand opening, grand closing, right? The King just said. They had The Last of Us Online. The one thing that might have actually worked for them, Bungie was like, nah, fam, that's not going to sell. Get it out of here. And they're releasing Marathon, and Marathon is going to flounder. I'm telling you, the last trailer they put out looked like garbage. I'm sorry, I'm not being a hater. It just looked terrible. So we'll see what happens to them, especially.
I would disagree with that.
That's fine. The opinions. I thought it looked terrible.
Did you watch the 40-minute video that they put out for Marathon?
I watched the trailer, brother, and that's enough for me. I've been keeping up to tabs up to it. I've been watching it. I'm not interested, so I'm not going to waste 40 minutes. But I thought the trailer was terrible. And if the 40-minute
not to turn this into something else, but I do want to say this. I think it's very harsh to say, hey, I've seen a trailer and then just completely condemn a game without giving it a chance. That's what's wrong with this industry right now is we're so quick to condemn things that we've not tried for ourselves. And that's why the industry is on fire right now. The reason I brought up, there's a 42-minute there's a 42-minute video out right now that Drewski put out that is showing you uninterrupted gameplay from Marathon. I literally tweeted about it last night. I was skeptical. That convinced me that, hey, there is definitely something here to try. They're obviously
I'm not an extraction shooter guy, dude, so I wouldn't waste 42
and that's fine. And that's fine. It does not have to be for you. But my point is, I'm not saying we have no idea if Marathon is going to be a success or not. But they're definitely showing confidence in it to allow 42 minutes of uninterrupted gameplay to be shown. And then you're getting the essentially the server slam next weekend, right? So that anyone, you don't have to spend a dime, you can go in and judge it for yourself. And the reason I'm saying all of this is to say this. I could care less if you like Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, ColecoVision, Vectrex. It doesn't matter. This industry is in trouble right now.
Yeah, it is.
And these high budget games failing is a problem. Yeah. So I'm not going to prejudge anything until I play it myself. Did the same thing with High Guard. My only thing with High Guard was I was like, hey, y'all not showing anything about it. What's going on? Then when it was officially out, I played it for myself. It wasn't for me. Right. You judge the game for what it is, right? Not prejudging. We're in this whole society now where we prejudge everything and don't try it for ourselves.
I mean, again, Parris, I hear what you're saying, but the prejudging thing, I've been following Marathon since its inception, dude. It's not like I'm shooting from the hip or half cocking this. Everything that I've seen, the game just does not look good. This is going all the way back to when they had to stop the release of it because of plagiarism, right? This is I've been following this game since inception, and every time I've personally seen something, I thought it looked terrible, and that last trailer looked terrible. That's, again, I'm not. This is not an Xbot versus a pony kind of a thing. That's just my opinion on it. So I hear what you're saying about the 42 minutes, and that, again, I personally wouldn't watch that because, one, extraction shooters aren't my thing, and everything I have seen up to now makes me not interested in the game. I'm not wishing for dancing on the bones of Bungie and saying, yeah, I hope the game fails so that you can close the studio so we can have something to talk about. What's going on in this industry, you're right, 100%. This industry is in trouble. And that's because they're banking on spending a lot of money, and that's why this game is $40 and it's not free to play, because they need this money. And that's because Sony, and that's one of my points, spent $3.6 billion a couple of years ago on Bungie, and they have not I mean, yes, the last Destiny stuff, it was critically accepted. People really like yourself that likes Destiny, like the game, but it didn't sell. And that's ultimately the problem. So Bungie finds themselves in a real pickle because if this game does fail, I don't know what happens to the studio. But, again, just kind of circling the wagons, it's just getting back to what we talked about with, Hargeet, kind of really going off on, I will say, and I have to agree with Hargeet on this, there are too many apologists for what PlayStation doesn't do, and it's accepted because they're the market leader. That's the honest truth about PlayStation. And, you just go back, and again, I have a list in front of me. It's simply just 5 years. It's the Concord disaster. They're never going to get out from underneath that. The cancellation of The Last of Us, the Spider-Man multiplayer game that was... They would have gotten my money. The Twisted Metal game, if that would have come out, you would have gotten my money. I would have bought every single car they could possibly have. I mean, the title from Ben Studios that was canceled, right? We don't know that's another studio that's in flux. We don't know what they're doing. I hope they don't get closed, but I know that game was
I got to pause you because I get extremely annoyed with the chat when you make up things. Number one, my name is not Parrish, it's Paris, spell it correctly. Number two, I never begged anyone to play Concord. So don't make up things. One thing that, and again, this just ties into everything I'm saying. We are in a social media era where people would literally make up shit to try and prove some kind of point. Yeah. So it's like, if you oh yeah, I read the chat because
I only read color.
Yeah, you read color. But my point is, people will literally make up something because I guess you want to impress someone in the chat or on social media or whatever. I call it like I see it every freaking time. And even right now with me and Boom, we may not agree on philosophy, but I love Boom to death and I respect his opinion.
This is a real man right here. I tell you,
know what I'm saying? So it's like we can have differing opinions on things. Yes. I will say this, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, but just honestly, that chat thing annoyed me to the point.
As it should. That's ridiculous. You never said that, dude.
My thing is, I want to see this industry succeed. Yes, if a game is bad, you absolutely 1000% judge it, you criticize it, and you point out its flaws. And that is a reflection on the leadership that greenlit that game in the first place and said, let's ship it. Not arguing that at all. My only thing is, to the point of all that you're talking right now, is we got to start giving things a chance before it even releases, because this industry is in trouble. And that's all I'm saying. Like, if you want to bring this all the way back to Phil Spencer and just everything that's going on, there's a reason he's no longer running Xbox, right? There's a reason Herman Holt said what he said the other day when they closed Bluepoint. You want these games. You want these games that you want to enjoy. You want these big AAA experiences. You want these indie games. You want all this stuff. If we're not even giving the games a chance so that we can purchase them and this industry can survive, all the shit goes away. And that's my only point on that. So when I see silly ass comments in the chat like that, where you make up shit because I guess you don't like me because of my opinion or whatever, I'm gonna call you out every time.
But that's okay. You know,
I don't know if I can even read what this
Paris,
is, right?
I think it's because you're black.
Oh,
probably.
I think it's because you're black, Paris. Paris, I'm just messing with you. like I'm not black.
No, you know what? Look, again, guys, I just want to circle the wagons because I do have to bounce. But in closing, look, here's the thing. I know that there are people that he just talks about Sony because he's a bot. I have probably more PlayStation games and controllers and peripherals than some of these dudes that claim to love PlayStation.
Yep.
I have a PS5 because if there's one person in this industry of podcasting that is not ashamed to say that I absolutely freaking loved Astrobot from start to finish and played that game. I have 3 statues that you can't see, literally sitting on my left-hand side here, of Astrobot. It's one of my favorite games for a multitude of reasons.
Salute. See you next Friday.
Blessings.
Yes.
Go ahead, Boom.
But so again, it's not hate for PlayStation. I think what frustrates me, and King's the same way. He literally said it. Is that there is a subset of the industry, both in social media, which isn't real, and Parris says that all the time. He says the internet isn't real, and he's right. And of course, games media, which he will disagree with me, and that's something else we disagree on in games media, and that's fine, right? I just think that people are willing to accept PlayStation's ridiculousness at times because they're the market leader, because they are PlayStation. And they're given this comblage, if you will, to, it's okay because or but. And when it's something else, it's thrown under the bus. I'm just saying that if we just, again, every one of these corporations, Nintendo's done some dumb shit. We've seen Xbox, they're going through it right now. They've made some big changes. A lot of us don't like it. You know, we have to, the old Macho Man saying, you may not like it, but you have to accept it because that's just what it is. Fine, but Sony has done themselves a tremendous disservice over the course of the last 5 years. And that God of War game that was $30 that probably should have been 20, and more importantly, been included in the service that I paid 160 plus tax for. That's another whole rant that I could go on. But I think that Hargeet is 100% right, and I think King's on to something. Of course, Parris, I love you. I can't wait to see you in June. Yes, this is not me and Parris fighting, so don't get. I'm sure there's gonna be a comment or two. This is me and him talking. We're brothers. That's my brother.
Bot on bot crime. No.
Oh goodness. Guys, I'll jump in real quick. Shout out to the over 362 people watching us live. Thank you all so much for being here. We greatly appreciate it. I know Mr. Boomstick needs to step away because of the current weather conditions and the state of emergency. They just got announced there that he
got alert on my phone, which is
care of. So
crazy.
We'll let him away for that. But Boom, thank you again so much for being here.
Brother.
You're not done,
Everyone,
guys.
I love you too, King.
Boom, I gotta do
talking,
your
brother. Guys, I'll see you later.
I gotta be on your show. Boom.
Yes, don't worry. We'll be talking.
We'll figure it out.
Have a great night, Boom. Be safe.
Later, guys.
All righty. All right. PARRIS LILLY, sir, I greatly appreciate you jumping on with us. Thank you so much.
No, of course. And I'm going to say this too. Someone's telling me we need to chill, that, we love you, and I appreciate that. But here's the thing. I'm going to call out bullshit every time.
And you should.
Look, I give people plenty to criticize me over. Don't make up shit. That is like my literal number one pet peeve. Don't make up shit to criticize me on. Criticize me on pitchforks or whatever the hell, but don't make up something I never said. Because again, if we want to talk about the concord of things, go back. I literally said online, do not put this game out. It is not ready. This is not going to work. Make it free to play. Don't do it. But then you spin that into, I was begging people to play the game. It's just like, it is so easy to sit on a YouTube chat anonymous and spit a bunch of bullshit. I will say this. You can come on here and we can debate all that if you got an issue with me, or you got my social media name, DM me. We can talk privately. I'm tired of people making up things because they think they're trying to impress someone in a freaking social media chat. I love gaming. I call it like I see it. I try to talk about gaming at an adult level. I don't know any other way to say it, right? Just like I missed you when you were on Iron Lords earlier, King, because I know you had to go. So I gave my piece about everything with Phil and obviously Sarah and everything that's coming up. Yeah. But I mean, it's the reality of it. Look, it sucks. Obviously, we've known Phil and Sarah for a very long time. And
well, Phil for a very long time. Sarah for a brief amount of time, but yeah.
But the point is, both of them are very good human beings at the end of the day, right? Xbox would not be here today without Phil Spencer. And I think he deserves that praise. He deserves that grace. Was every decision perfect? Of course not. Or, we probably wouldn't have had the decisions that just came down here on Friday. So, it's okay to be able to criticize decisions or whatever, right? But give these people their flowers on the way out the door. That's all I'm saying. I mean,
but you asking for people to have coof, PARRIS. You're asking for people to understand what grace is. My mother, they never got smacked in the mouth.
That's the problem.
I got smacked in the mouth. You don't feel I have nothing nice to say. Don't say anything at all. And that's what we grew up on. It's a different level of maturity, and they just show me who raised them. That's all. That's all. You're a reflection of your elders, and if your elders didn't raise you properly, I can tell. So this is why I don't read it unless it's in color, because you're not standing behind anything. Any monkey can get on a keyboard and tweet. Any monkey can write anything in. But it takes a measure of an individual to put his greenbacks on that. Because if you don't know what greenbacks are and what it really signifies is, you trade your life for money. Your time and your essence is into your cash, right? Now, some people do it a little bit differently, and some people understand what the true value of cash is. But when you put that money behind your statements, meaning you're standing on business. And when you don't, I don't read the chat because it's not in color. And the darker the color gets, the more serious you are to me. So I know you're saying, well, King, that sounds like you're being paid. I'm not here for free. So don't ever think I am.
No, it's just a thing. Like someone else, again, and I know I should stop referencing the chat, but like we get it. Stop fighting your battles on other channels. Here's the thing, though. I like coming on Dave's show. I like going on Iron Lords. I like going on Dirt and other shows because I'm a part of the community. And I like being a part of the community. And when you get to sit anonymous behind your keyboard and say a bunch of crazy stuff.
Chewed out or he'll get smacked hard. But I grew up in the South, so.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's all good. But my point is, it's just like, be respectful of people that come on as guests to different shows. Like I said, criticize me for things that I actually say. Don't make up things. And obviously this week has been freaking crazy between Bluepoint and between the decisions that Xbox has made. I've been asked a few times, hey, what is your opinion? You want to come on your opinion? And then people want to say silly shit in the chat. And it's just like, why don't you come up here and do that then?
Yep.
That's what let's keep it real. Why don't you come on here? I've been doing this a long ass time. And like I said, I am who I am. I'm always going to call it like I see it. You may not like it, but making up stuff, doing your childish insults, and then when I see you at an event, you want to be my best friend. That's what annoys me more than anything.
Yo, Parris, they saw your 20-inch pythons? 24-inch python, my bad. Sorry, I shaved away 4 inches. Pause, my bad. But listen, Parris. I tell people we're outside. If you're looking at this panel, these are outside people. We're outside people, right? There are people that are inside that wait for information. We are either making information or we're going to go get that to do that. So again, you are above scrutiny, sir. That's why I don't read the chat, because these people aren't where I'm at all. And if you are, please, if I said something to offend you, well, please, I will say something more to offend you even harder, because I want you to be upset. I want to offend you in a way that makes you tweet harder. Why? Because I get personal glee that my words hurt you. I absolutely do. I absolutely do. In my soul, it feels really good. I sleep well at night knowing that you're mad at me. And it's great to see. And sometimes you're just mad at me because I don't like what you like. I say what you like is nasty. And, you know, these Parris is super nice. I don't even know why y'all treat them like that.
Yeah.
Y'all love me. And
it's console wars. It's console wars. Because...
But you're not warring. I'm warring.
Yeah, I know.
You're not, literally, you're not about that. You're like, I don't do that. And you're like, I love this and I love that. And you're talking nice to them. See? They like when you beat them up. They like when I rough them up. I rough them up. I can't stand Concord. I'm glad Concord died the way it did. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that the company is folding from within. You know what?
Wow.
I'm gonna buy a Marathon because I like Bungie, and I never liked them over there near you anyway. I love the fact that y'all overspend for something that we were getting for free. And guess what? You spend 36 billion. I mean, well, 3.6 billion for Bungie, and we get the games. I know you're gonna say, King, y'all spend 80 billion and we get the games. But yeah, we get it inside our Game Pass, though. You're not really like us. We just like to use you. You're used. You're like a big chick through in taxes time. We there. We there, love. You got the money. We love you during your taxes. Did you get your taxes? Did your W-2 come in? That's us. We there. We knocking on your door. Hey, love. Hey, big head. Yes. Yes. Now buy our game so we can fund our fun. We don't care. And no matter who's at the top, it's still the same thing. We still going to keep exploiting you. We still better than you. And no matter what you say, no matter how many systems you sell, you still you. And I know you, boo-boo. You ain't no good. You ain't never been good. But again, Parris not fighting, but I am. And watch, I don't say nothing about him. I mean, nothing.
So Parris, you still have to get your bars off on Bluepoint, but like, let me get these out of the way. Lotus, gifted 20 WebDave memberships and additional 20 WebDave memberships. And then Lord Starkiller gifts 20 WebDave memberships, and then another 10.
Yes. Read that super chat that kind of read over Parris. I didn't want to, if you don't mind.
All right, Cross Faith Army, $5. I'll be 32 in March. I could not eat in a certain way when I was getting chewed out, or I'll get smacked hard. But I grew up in the South, so.
Yep, there you go.
Yep.
There you go. That's what he was talking about. I didn't want to, because half of it kind of came across, and I didn't want him to think he was directing at anybody. So anyway, but I also want to say a big shout out to the over 370 people watching us live right now. Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you for being here with us. Yes, we have the one and only. We have Hargeet Chani. We have King David, and we have Parris Lilly. live in the chat. Mr. Boomstick had to step away earlier because he's in his state of emergency and he had to go take care of a few things in his area. He's safe, but it is a bad snowstorm up there, and King is in the area too. So we've safety for everybody there as well.
It's about to hit up here as well. So, but either way, Silent Cypher gifts 20 WebDave memberships as well.
There you go. Great to hear that. I do want to keep going for sure, but I do want to say that to everything that was said in chat, just to let everybody know. We have a lot of moderators in the chat, which greatly appreciate. One of our amazing moderators has been a guest before, which is Epic Treasure. Epic is amazing content creator. You should definitely check out all of her pages and everything that she does. She does amazing work, and she has just recently become, I guess, a part of the review crew, is I guess probably the best way to say it, for Power World. Yeah, so she's now part of the inner circle on Power World, and we'll be having some great content with that. So that is amazing, and we'll have her back on for that. So that's pretty amazing as well. Hard to wait for Pow Farming, just so you know. Epic got to give us the scoop on that stuff, and yeah, so. Sorry, I had to do that. All right, so let's get to Parris. Let's get your points on this, and then we'll get into the big topic. I can't remember what that one is. Can you?
Yeah, I mean the Bluepoint stuff. I mean it was again very very surprising that they would close that studio down, because you would think, even though, hey, I guess they were doing some God of War live service game or whatever that never saw the light of day, that even if they weren't making their own game, essentially they're your nexus for remakes and remasters. You could put them on one of your you can put them on one of your treasure trove of legacy IPs and have them bring that back, and obviously be able to monetize it, because people might be excited and want to buy it and play it. So closing that down, and then I think the more disturbing thing was what Herman Hulse said in that email, to all the employees. That's like, look, man, we're in a position right now where it is getting harder and harder to figure out what people want to play and be able to properly monetize it. I'm obviously very paraphrasing all of that, but I will say, and I know this is probably leads into a bigger conversation, Phil Spencer was literally warning us about this for years, and people were dismissing what he was saying, that it was just an Xbox problem. No, this is an industry problem. And the only reason that Nintendo is immune from this is because they make low-powered hardware and they keep their development costs in check. Whereas you see across the industry, be it Xbox, PlayStation, EA, Ubisoft, on down the line, take your pick of major publisher, their development costs have exploded, and it's taking way too long for these games to come out. So that game that may have sounded like a great idea 6 or 7 years ago, by the time it ships, the audience doesn't want that anymore. They're like, that's not something I want, because they're not turning these games around in 2-3 years, maybe 4 at max. I mean, look at Fable as an example. Fable, we know, was in development before it was even announced in 2020. We're in 2026, and that game is still not out yet. It's taking too long for these games to come out. That's the huge thing. It's taking too long. You got IPs that gamers do want, and they're essentially like again, we're just talking PlayStation, but essentially a lot of these games that people are expecting from PlayStation, they're pretty much not coming until the PlayStation 6 at this point.
It ain't gonna be one.
Well, I know you say that, but like Intergalactic, I think of that as an example. That is essentially at the very end of the PlayStation 5 going into the PlayStation 6. So in other words, Naughty Dog has essentially missed this entire generation of PlayStation. That's crazy. Look, if it would Insomniac, I know Ted Price retired, great man, but Insomniac is probably going to have to get back surgery in a couple of years from carrying this goddamn generation this entire time for PlayStation. Because outside of Insomniac, Housemarque, and whatever you want to think of Guerrilla, they're the only ones that have been putting out games this generation.
If Wolverine flops, he might be Ixnay.
No, he's already retired. He's like, I'm out of here. Him and Phil gonna be chilling. In Budapest.
I'm talking about Insomniac. Yeah, because I mean, Wolverine. Like people think like Wolverine can't flop. Like Spider-Man is a different animal, and he talks to everyone. Wolverine talks to a very specific group, right? Spider-Man talks to everyone. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. You really don't know what you're asking for. Yes, for some people, Wolverine is a great IP. Game-wise, I want y'all to look at the numbers of the Wolverine game that sold, right? Did it open up a whole plethora of Wolverine games? But think about the Spider-Man games. There were tons of them. Why? Because he appeals to a broader spectrum of individuals like myself. So, in saying that, there's not far-fetched that Wolverine
123 celebrates 5 months of membership.
Blessings. It's not far-fetched that Wolverine only sells
set a precedent for engagement farmers to hate farm games that resemble Concord, so now it's difficult to have an honest conversation.
That's not true. Concord had minimum things that were wrong with it. Sony was just not committed to live service. That's just all that is. They didn't have the gumption to stand the fight. They could have fixed it. All right?
Should have delayed it. The bottom line.
They should have. They should have delayed it, but they're not built like that. They're not built for that level of commitment. They want instant success. They're spoiled on their own high. They're walking around thinking that there's still a guy in high school with the tight jeans and the girls love him. You're not that jock. You're Al Bundy selling shoes inside a store someplace, talking to some lady, talking about her bunions, trying to get it in her shoes. I just said something. I just showed you my age. All right, listen, I know exactly that they're betting, and this goes to Paris' point. It's taking too long for these games to come out. Wolverine was talked about so long ago that the guy that was waiting for it already graduated college, already is in a relationship. He's in knee deep in debt. He don't got time to play this game. And he probably got a kid on the way. So that $70, $80 that you were banking on actually flew out the window. So understand this. The return on investment will not be there, but Disney wants their bread. You picked the IP based on the success you had in Spider-Man. Did Spider-Man 2 reach those same critical acclaim as 2018 Spider-Man? No, it did not. Miles Morales was a smaller title, and it gave you a return of investment, but it didn't sell as many units as the first Spider-Man. And Spider-Man 2 didn't sell as many units as both of them. So you're looking at diminishing returns on IPs that you still owe money on. That Wolverine can fail. It won't fail to me because I'm a Marvel head. But grossly, I think they're setting themselves up for closing the doors. And if Wolverine is it, don't say I didn't tell you.
You made one comment about Wolverine, which I think goes beyond just Wolverine, that it can't fail. This is the fundamental problem right now with AAA gaming. None of these games can fail, because if they do, what happens? Layoffs, studios close. This is what we're seeing across the industry, right? So something has to give. And this is why you're seeing, instead of what's really happening is these big publishers are going to take less risk. They're going to take less risk. You know, new IPs aren't getting greenlit. They're going to go back into the Rolodex of the bag of what worked before. Well, we're just going to do that again. Let's remake this. Let's make a sequel to that. They're not going to continue to greenlight new IPs in this current, because here's the other thing. If anyone that went to DICE in a couple of weeks ago, I did not go, but obviously I talked to a lot of people. I know Cog went as well. Yeah, the number one conversation was, there ain't no investment money. No one's investing. No one's investing in these games. So when something does get greenlit, it better freaking land. It better be a hit. That's where we are, and that's not good for the industry. So as an example, because Boom and I didn't really get in our conversation. If Marathon flops,
I hope it doesn't.
Bungie is in trouble, in serious trouble. There ain't no Destiny 3. You know what I mean? It's that's not good. Look, let's just take the worst case scenario, for example. Let's say Marathon flops and Sony decides, you know what? We're just going to close the studio. How is that good for the industry? I'm sure there'll be some social media posts and people will take their little silly victory laps. But for the industry, a legendary studio like Bungie to go away is not good. It's not. And I'm not saying, look, you blame it on leadership, you blame it on the decisions. Maybe they should have never greenlit an extraction shooter. I understand that. Obviously, that alpha was not good. Stolen art. I get it. It's a bad reputation. I guess that was my point I was trying to say to Boom. If you watch that latest video, I think they addressed a lot of those issues. Yes. But if Marathon flops and Bungie goes away or they're severely reduced from the peak of their powers, you know, during the Halo and the Destiny days, that's not good for the industry because we're not getting good games. You want these big studios that have been historically making great games to continue to do so. And if they don't, what are we getting? You're just going to get a remake, a remaster, a sequel. Exactly. And that's my only point on that. And I understand not everyone's going to agree with that. It's just, I guess I've talked to enough people on the business side of this that are extremely concerned about where we're headed. And I'm just trying to communicate that back out. Place. Yeah.
I agree. It's in an interesting place. I tend to agree with you, Parris. I try never to pile on a game I haven't played because I don't know what it is, right? Until I've played it, it's like I don't know if I'm gonna give you that much of an opinion on it. I can tell you like peripherally what I thought of it just by looking at it, but I won't pile on it because I haven't played it yet. So, and a lot of these live service games, I don't like them. So I just say pass. I'm not gonna
and that's fair. And that's fair. And I think that's also part of the problem. There are too many live service games when it's really only the 1% that truly thrive as a live service. Obviously, Fortnite dominates all this stuff. Destiny had its time where it was a 1%er,
but
where
then
it dominated.
You got our Arc Raiders that pops out of no place that gets these execs lathered up, Parris.
But then the other problem, King, is then we're like, hey, go make a single player game. We're in this era right now where these single player games aren't making enough money.
They're not going anywhere.
So they're trying to figure out another way to monetize. That's the problem.
Phil had a solution. He got shot down. The solution was episodic content that was supposed to be inside Game Pass. If anybody remembers that whole spiel, that whole conversation that was being had, it was episodic content that makes Game Pass viable. Think about it this way. If you like a really good game, right, and they sell you this content and you can get the content quickly, right, over a period of time, and it can thrive in this space. Adventures of Keith Courage in whatever land, right? And then it ends on a cliffhanger. It gives you a couple amount of levels. You play it, high quality stuff, you know, AA stuff, but it gives a place for it to survive. Single player games right now is an endangered species. And in knowing that is an endangered species, the company that builds themselves behind single player games has to be endangered, because live service games, I don't care what nobody says about Jim Ryan, the theory, the logic behind it was sound.
It was good. It was
good business.
And it was going in multiple directions, build your own and buy, right? And I can't fault them. Bungie, you're going to buy Bungie. That's a good potential buy. Unfortunately, it just didn't work. They didn't do enough diligence to say, is this actually financially sound?
But they didn't listen to Phil, because Phil said it had a high burn rate. So he's walking out looking like the holy grail of information, right? Because if you're really, they will always want to pick the stuff that they want to pick. You don't want to pick the gems that he was dropping to you. And he was telling you long ago, Parris understands, Parris knows, this is where the frustration lies. Somebody was telling from the mountaintops, the end of the world is coming. The end of the world is coming. And you was like, shut up, you kook. And guess what happens? It happened. And you're like, damn, I should have listened. So single player games, they're endangered. And I don't care what anybody say. Yeah, you may love them, but it's getting smaller. That niche is getting smaller. For your dopamine hit, long form story driven content is not working. You need that dopamine hit that is rapid, This is the reason why TikTok is a problem. This is the reason why Snapchat is a problem. This is the reason why our phones in our hand are a problem, because we need that dopamine hit, that instant gratification that video games don't give. But some live service games do. Single player games do not deliver that dopamine hit that they used to deliver because our attention spans have shrunk. So you have industries looking now, how can we galvanize and get that dopamine hit back? And if you're taking 5 to 6 years to release a game, that individual has moved on. Parris is not wrong with nothing he said. Everything he said is absolute facts. You know why? Because he's in the industry and he's there. But y'all want to dismiss him, and y'all want to say stupid things like what he says isn't valid. Is absolutely valid. Everything he said is valid. You know why? Because he pays attention. That's why I love Parris.
It's an interesting industry problem that I don't know how it's going to be solved. And to the point of the following generations, they don't play games the same way we do, right? When we grew up, this was all new. We embraced every part of it. We're like, this is great. And every little evolutionary step, revolutionary step that happened, we were just there to gobble it up. That's not the same. Games already exist for the next generation, right? It's like internet. They already have it. Like for us, like what internet? Oh my God, this is fantastic. Wait, I can research anything at any time. That wasn't the way when we were going to school. We didn't have that, right? So, but they grow up with that. They don't think any differently. That's like that's just technology that we have, right? It'd be like talking to somebody who dealt with horse and buggy. It's like, no, I just have a car, dude. I can like take a bus. Like, what do you mean horse and buggy? Right? It doesn't enter our mindset, right? And that's where they are. I can't blame them. For them, gaming is just one form of entertainment. For a lot of their entertainment, it's what you say. They're on a phone. They swipe a video up. Next, and that's it. And that's where they are. So it's hard to tell them, oh, you got to spend 120 hours to play this game.
We're not trying to hear that.
120 hours? 120? What? When we were playing, it was like 120 hours. That's great value for my game because I can only buy one game every 6 months. So I need 120 hours.
Yo,
like,
you say,
I don't want that now.
You say buy a game. They said, what is not free?
Exactly. They're in a totally different world, right? And this is just the world we're in now. And so for those folks, it is a problem. And I don't know how they switch that over. I don't know how that like the movie industry isn't exactly in the greatest shape.
The movie industry is dead.
Right? And you look at the same thing across all media, it's things like TikTok and YouTube. Those are the ones that are getting the views. That's just the way it is. I don't know how that gets solved. This is a big industry headache. Maybe they need to change the way the game loops work. And, one of the things I get frustrated with, and this is like, I've played all these long games is when I play a game and suddenly it's like, oh, I watched 20 seconds and now you have a cutscene. I walked another 30 seconds and this no, stop the cutscene. No, I just want to play the game. What are you doing? Like it's like it's too much, right? But that used to be okay. And now I'm like, I don't want that. I just want to kind of play through the game. Let me play the game. Right. And so I'm assuming a lot of players are like that when they're coming in from newer generations. They're like, nah, I just want to hang. And I'm just here like hanging, talking to my bros. And you're now telling me I got to like pay attention to your cutscene. Like, no, stop. And so this is it's just a different world. I don't know, man. It's a very interesting issue.
I think, King, and you can probably co-sign this because, you got kids as well. Bro, my kids, they just want convenience. Yep. And then they're really only playing Fortnite or Roblox. They ain't playing nothing else. It was so funny. My son a couple weeks ago just now decided, hey, I'm going to start playing all the Halo games. And we've been talking about that because before that, he had zero interest in it. Yep. And that's the thing with most kids. They're not playing the stuff that we were playing. And I think, Hargeet, you said it very, very eloquently. We grew up with this. So all of this stuff was new to us. So we were trying to play everything when it came out, right? Whereas now it's just one other distraction. It is just one other form of entertainment for these kids now because that phone that is literally glued to their hands is their entertainment. Matt Booty was getting cooked for telling the truth that TikTok is the competitor now because they're fighting for time. They're fighting for your time. It's not about Xbox or PlayStation anymore. It's about these kids will doom scroll for 2-3 hours versus actually go play a game for 2-3 hours. That's the real challenge. How do you get them off of TikTok and these distractions on your phone and get them to actually pick up a controller and play a game?
You cannot. And the reason why the only people that was cooking him were old heads, people that believe in consoles, because the I in them makes them believe that they're more important than they think, right? And that's how our ego works. Our ego is an extension of our defense mechanism. So if you feel like you're being attacked, your ego will jump out of your body. When your plastic device and your ego, you lead with your ego because you love your plastic device, you feel that this guy is the opposition. He represents somebody that you supposed to don't like. And he says, you're not competition. In your head, you're like, what are you talking about? We're the market leader. This is your ego talking because you're not really anything. You're just, it's your ego talking. What are you talking about? PlayStation is a threat. Because we outsell you all the time. We, again, the we thing and the ego. But in the business meetings that he's sitting down with the other millionaires, right? The other people that are shaping what you play, they are seeing a severe trend that they're losing the youth. And the youth is playing on TikTok or on Roblox or on Instagram. And when you're scrolling on TikTok, there are dopamine phone games that will pop up that will snatch you away from traditional consoles. So when Matt Booty is explaining that is a gateway drug that is leading our children and our potential customers, you're not even they don't care about the kids. They care about the customer. They care about that you're a coin purse and your coins ain't going inside their bank, period, right? End of the day, they're losing money to doom scrolling on this potential media. How can we stop it? What can we do? Well, you can't make AI slot games that immediately just give them dopamine hits. We got to figure it out. And that's where the industry at. We're in an inflection point. Parris, I don't think we come back from this point. Actually, I told you, I don't think consoles is going to be a thing. By 2030, it's it, right? I think the last tradition, yeah.
No, I believe it or not, I know obviously no PlayStation 6. We've joked about it for a while.
Not even just that. I'm talking about everybody thinks that I'm going against PlayStation 6. It's really Xbox. Xbox didn't say that they're releasing a console in 2028, 2029. They're releasing a console a little bit closer. So you're just going to, you know how when you just get inside the elevator and the door closes behind you? That's them. No.
We're actually on the same page with this. And to your point about Microsoft, I mean, this is again, Phil and team obviously saw this coming and they are pivoting because their next hardware, like Sarah Bond said in that AMD video, Windows is the best place to play. Valve obviously is already seeing this with the Steam Deck and the Steam machine. Yep. This is, in my opinion, this is the last traditional consoles we're going to see. Yep. And they're just easing you into the PC side of things because that's open platforms. That's where it's going to live. They got to make these games scale and be available across multiple devices because they got to bring the games to where you're comfortable to play. Not, well, now and I think you were saying this earlier, not go buy this $800-900 box that can only play the games that are on that box. No one's going to do that anymore. That's what I think personally.
My ROG is a god.
Yeah.
I mean, I keep saying it. I'll further that and say the other big entrant is going to be Android because your TV's built in.
Yes.
And it's just there. And at some point, a publisher is going to say, why am I not just putting the game in Android TV? And you can just download the game and pair up a freaking controller and you're good to go. Like, why do I need to have this other thing altogether? It's going to happen eventually.
That's why Game Pass is on TV.
I mean, Hargey, think of this. What is Proton going to be 5 years from now?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Whereas it doesn't matter if it's Windows or Linux or Android or whatever. If I have something that can take, I make the game one. And again, this is why I'm going to GDC this year, because there are panels that are literally talking about to devs, make your game once, and then you're going to be able to have it playable across multiple devices, because that's where we're going with all this stuff. It's about making game development quicker, easier, and scalable. That's where we're going with this. So people, look, I get people are going to hold on for dear life for the old ways. But to everything that we're talking about right now, this current model is no longer sustainable. It's not. And we're watching it crash and burn right before our eyes. And you have to understand, and I say this again, I'm saying this because people that are actually making the decisions, people that are actually going out and trying to get these games funded, have literally told me this over the past couple years. Like, it is getting harder and harder to get money to make games. It's getting harder and harder to greenlight these big things. It's taking too long for them to come out, right? If it flops, our entire studio goes away. These are the conversations that I've been hearing over the past couple of years. So look, I get it. I'm just a random dude on the internet. You don't have to listen to me at all. You can think I'm shilling or whatever the hell you want to think. I'm just telling you that's how it is. You don't have to listen to me.
That's
go talk to anyone that was at DICE.
That's the dopamine hit. You play a game like that, and you just keep playing it because it's small rounds, and they make it so that you just keep playing.
This is Jewel on the Xbox app. It's a free-to-play game that I sit here and pour monkey amounts of hours in. And I get my dopamine hit immediately. But they understand exactly what they're doing. Remember when they said they took away reward points, or they messed up how reward points was? No. If you actually go to reward points, it's actually there. You can actually make more points. But what they want you to do is play on multiple devices at the same time, all throughout the day. So I got to play on my Xbox. I got to play on my phone. I got to play on my PC. I got to play through cloud. So when you do all those things, it's a little game you play with yourself, right? They're looking at you, stupid. You're jumping through the hoops like a good puppy. Yeah, I am. So what? I'm getting my reward points. And then I can see when I'm reaching that magical $25 gift card that I'm so close to that pays for my Game Pass. Try to play the Game Pass. This is what I'm doing. But I'm part of the problem. Yes, I am. But I understand the hustle. You guys are just learning. And I'm glad there's platforms like this that have intelligent conversations that with people that go out to the industry that's not talking about the curated stuff they want you to talk about. Like, look over here while all this other stuff, real stuff is happening. Don't look at that. Don't look at the real stuff. Look at this fake stuff that we're talking about here. Xbox is dead. Dumbass, they have a whole panel at GDC for 6 or 7 days. Bro, you don't know they're running the show. Like, you really don't get it. At the end of the day, when you really bop your head out the sand and realize, oh, snap, they were doing this while I was sleeping, thinking this was the market leader. Dummy, it's over. The fight is over. It's dead. It's no fight. It really isn't. It was never a fight. It was never a war. The only war is for your dollars and your time. And the more time you invest in the ecosystem, the better they are. If you don't think a close to $400 trillion company, $4 trillion company, because Satya messed up a lot of money, and he tried to blame it on my man Phil, and then it's a big fight anyway. And people left and stuff like that happened. But again, if you don't think that $3 trillion company isn't investing man hours and time on trying to make more money off of your backs, you're crazy.
I'm not trying to run your show, Dave, but
no, you go right ahead.
I do want to say this. There's a reason that Asha Sharma is now the CEO of Microsoft Gaming, because if you look at her resume, take the AI stuff out of it for just a second. What is she good at doing? User engagement.
Yes,
growing an existing product. That is what she has been good at. If you look at her resume, I tell anyone that is watching this right now, Go watch some of the videos where she is actually talking about whatever the subject may be. She's really, really good. She's really, really good at what she
So we
does.
can
So
segue into that, right? Let's segue into that as the next topic, of course, is the big Phil and Sarah and Asha. Do we want to just segue into that?
Let's do this little part here. There's Phil, and there's
All right.
let's get his remarks before he left. We'll read those, and then we're going to go straight to a breakdown of the lovely new CEO. So go ahead and let you read.
But everybody get their bars off on Bluepoint. We thoroughly talked about that, I guess, right?
It just sucks because the only thing with Bluepoint is the problem was that they were brought in, they was targeted, and we thought they were targeted for the reasons of their expertise, and their expertise wasn't utilized. And that tells you that leans heavily into mismanagement. I do not go buy a rabbit and expect it to be a guard dog. That's not what I'm looking for. That doesn't happen that way. So in seeing that, because they're such a talented studio, they put out great work. They do what the assignment calls for. You put them on a live service game that is not their expertise, but then you cancel the live service game. I just pray that at some point that footage surfaces. And I want it to be the most mind-blowing, incredibly looking game ever, like that Spider-Man game. So I can just really tell you how mismanaged they truly are over there, because I cannot, for the life of me, even if it's not their expertise, think that they were putting out anything weak. If you played Demon Souls, if you've played it for the PlayStation 5, you understand how good they are. And I'm just saying, Bloodborne was sitting right there. Jack and Dexter sitting right there. You got a remake that you're making of the original God of War, and you could have put them on that instead of having these guys work on it, Santa Monica. And Santa Monica could be working on what happens to be the successor to Ragnarok. And if you want me to believe that they're working on that and that, I'm not stupid. I wasn't born yesterday. They can't do it. They're not that versatile, boo-boo. They're going to make sure that they do what is successful. Ragnarok didn't hit. Nobody likes Atreus. We know it. They're hoping you forget about it, and it's just an open-ended thing. Just move on. Why you think they gave you bootleg Sons of Sparta? Why you think that happened? Why? To take you back to baby Kratos, to make you forget about old man that's looking after a kid that ain't even his. That dude, the simp, the broken simp that sits in a rowboat. That dude, I don't even know who that dude is. He's so weak. My God of War takes down gods. This guy is fighting Boulder for a damn whole game. Disgusting work. You had this guy fight this guy to the death in a whole game. Disgustingness to me. So again, I don't know who he is, but I know that they were supposed to do the work on the original. And had they did it, I know it would have been impeccable. Chef's kiss. But the bigger problem is they would have did it too good, because they would have had Kratos laying in the bed with the chicks. They would have had the blood. He would have been a misogynistic, egotistical pig. And that's not the times we're living in, because you guys are over there so sensitive. What's the matter? You don't want your Diddy oil? Just saying.
That's the way to end that one.
Tell you, when I show up with that A game, baby. Let's get it.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. All right, so I'll read this one. Today marks an exciting new chapter for Microsoft Gaming as Asha Sharma steps into the role of CEO, and I want to be the first to welcome her to this incredible team. Working with her over the past several months has given me tremendous confidence. She brings genuine curiosity, clarity, and a deep commitment to understanding players, creators, and the decisions that shape our future. We know this is an important moment for our fans, partners, and team, and we're committed to getting it right. I'll remain in an advisory role through the summer to support a smooth handoff.
There you go. That is good to hear. We'll get you guys your thoughts. We'll go to a King first, and we'll go to Paris and get you guys thoughts on that, and then we're going to jump right in to the big cheese, as it were. So, what are your thoughts? We thought it was coming. We didn't know it was necessarily this soon. Maybe some hands were forced. What do you think, King?
I don't know if Hargeet was with me when I was saying it. I don't know if I said it directly after Summer Games Fest. Hargeet, was you with me when I said that I don't think Phil is going to be around after he launches the next console? I think he's just coming. He's just going to launch the next console. Then he's out.
Yeah, I think we all are in that agreement. But yeah, I don't know if you said that then, if I was there or not. But yeah, it's like yeah, we all kind of figured it's coming, right? He's getting up in years, and it's like it's time.
Hey, he's younger than I am.
Well, it was the conversation that him and myself had, and the reason why he took his health very seriously. It was a friend of his that passed away, and it was jarring to him. And when something makes you make a life change, right? It makes you look at things differently. You see, we walk around thinking that this time that we so-called believe that we have is infinite, and something is going to wake you up to your mortality. And when you recognize it, when you see it, you're going to move through this life completely different. You're going to change a whole lot of things. You're going to be a completely changed, different person. And I also believe that Phil was a completely changed, different person. I guess idealistically, I think certain things probably didn't matter as much, and certain things took a greater importance. And toiling away someplace for 38 years, you're going to say to yourself, yeah, I have all of this, but then there's other things that actually mean more. Something changes. And I saw a change in a man that I have grown to know for, I think it's 10 years now. And he has always been a gentleman. He's always been a scholar. He has always been a great man in his space. And he's always been genuine. That's the reason why his name is Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer, first of his name. And in giving those titles to him over the great accomplishments that he made throughout his tenure over at Xbox, I realized that one day it's going to end. And for some people, you champion that ending. Because maybe you witnessed him decimate what you called your idols, where every so often you realize that he overcame a different hurdle. He did things that some CEOs weren't capable of doing, like getting $80 billion to get ABK. To getting Xbox to be taken serious over at Microsoft, to actually outselling Windows to make that power move, to going out and acquiring studios when Microsoft had 4 studios, and him realizing that we can't continue to live off of Call of Duty, we must make our own. That those 4 titles that they had, Gears, Forza, and Halo, and 3 titles that they had, wasn't going to be able to sustain them. He saw the mortality in Xbox, and he took it very seriously with his job. His job was to make it greater. Somebody that had been someplace for 38 years, someone who had a leadership position for 12 to 17 years. That man has done great things. Of course, during that period of time, you're going to make mistakes. That's what it is. But at the same time, without him, Xbox won't be where it is. And him stepping away. Now, I'm pretty sure that he wanted to hand the reins to someone that he was grooming, someone that was his protege, his Padawan, if you will. That was his Anakin Skywalker. He was Obi-Wan. He was teaching Sarah the ways of the Force.
Mm-hmm.
And when certain things really don't go how you want it to go, those life-changing events that you went through make you realize this really ain't all that serious. So for some people, it may seem sudden. I'm pretty sure for him, it wasn't. I'm pretty sure for him, he already resided to the fact that I did everything that I can possibly do, and there's nothing Microsoft can do to remove Xbox. Nothing. There's not one CEO that you can say that helmed Xbox that can say that they solidified it in Microsoft's DNA, that they cannot remove it. It's like herpes. It's over. It's no cure. So I love him for doing so. And I know as a man of honor and as a man of respect, I love him for doing so.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm like, wow, for real? I love him for doing so. As a man of honor and a man of respect, he respects the chain of command. He's not gonna y'all deal with it or talk disparagingly about a company that he absolutely loves and something that he was entrusted with. He respected it. He respected the brand. As much as y'all might say he didn't respect the brand or he gave our titles away. Doctor Strange gave away the, what was it? Not the Soul Gem, the one of the Infinity Stones.
The time stone.
They gave away the Time Stone based upon him knowing that was the only way for them to win. In order for them to survive, exclusivity had to die. But he did his best with what he had. And there's no one greater than what he did. I always told you that. So I'm happy that he gave Asha grace. I'm happy that he gave her kind words on the way out. I'm happy that he's in an advisory role there. Because what that does is allow people that even respect him in any form, respect him, say, I trust his judgment. I trust that he agrees with this process. Because any man who has changed as much as he's changed or seen change, he could have easily said, now I'm going to take my ball and go home. I don't need to sit here. So he respects the process. So I respect his decision. I respect his words. And she's given every bit of grace possible. This is your ball now. Depending on how you do it is how you're going to be judged. But as far as pantheons of CEOs, the only person that can come close to him is Reggie Fils-Aimé. And that is lofty. When I'm telling you, if you're saying Phil or Reggie, you're talking about Dr. J or Jordan. That's what we're talking here. Greatest of all time stuff. Muhammad Ali or Jack Johnson. That thing. This is where we at. He's that guy. He's always been him from when he started here to when he walked out the door. So I salute you, soldier, for everything that you've done. You gave her a great runway. She has tons of games. She has a console coming. I've never seen anything like that. Somebody is set up to win in such a manner. It's like Patrick Ewing going for that dunk. Don't finger roll it.
Pause.
That's
Sorry.
it.
Oh, goodness. Yes, I will definitely agree with that. Parris, your thoughts on Phil's retirement?
I mean, it's bittersweet.
It is.
It really is, because you know, and I'm trying not to repeat a lot of what King said, because I think he was spot on with a lot of what he said, but it's very bittersweet because, you know, I have been around a long time. I'm old. And, you know, I remember when he took over the reins, you know, from Don Matrick, and just how in flux Xbox was at that time during that 2013, 2014 era, right? And him coming on, and he did that that video with Major Nelson, and you know, we were lucky enough, Danny and I, to actually have a sit down conversation with him at E3 2014, and you know, he decoupled Connect at that time, and you know, they were emphasizing backwards compatibility and, you know, preservation, like all these things that they were doing. And then 2016, you know, I remember going to this keynote at the Spring Showcase in San Francisco, and why they never made this keynote public, I'll never understand. But he laid out this plan for Xbox that essentially turned out to be Play Anywhere, Game Pass, Cloud, all these things that he was talking about in 2016. So you don't have to agree with everything that Phil Spencer did over the years, but he tried to move the industry forward. And I will always appreciate and have respect for that, because just because something at the end didn't ultimately work, I appreciate the effort of trying. You know, obviously the acquisitions with Bethesda, I truly believe Activision just completely changed everything for Xbox, which is kind of why we're having this conversation today. Look, they're a branch of Microsoft. Microsoft invested $80 million into Xbox. They want a return on investment. And if they felt that was not happening, these are why you're seeing some of the decisions that you have today. We will never know the true 100% story of why Phil decided to retire now, why Sarah decided to resign now. We'll never know. I mean, the NDAs are probably ironclad as far as that goes. But I feel like Phil didn't this sounds cliche, but he didn't finish the job 100%. I think he got it very close to the finish line of what he wanted. And then unfortunately, I think he had to step away for a variety of reasons. Like we said, health issues, obviously Vincent Zampella passing away. There's like all these variables into why he potentially would have retired. And like I said, we don't know. I think we all agree we knew he was very close in the end anyway. So it was never a surprise that he retired. It's just the timing of it that I think that we're questioning, right? I personally felt, and I think King, you even said this, get to that 25th anniversary. At that point, all bets are off. He could retire at any moment after that. That's what I personally thought. So to see him not get to that milestone event is why I'm, you know, kind of scratching my head a little bit. But to try and flip this and look at maybe why they made this decision now. Maybe it was, we want Asha and Matt Booty, the new leadership for Xbox, to get their vision presented in June at the summer showcase, right? Obviously at GDC coming up in a couple of weeks, they're presenting their vision, you know, to these devs and things, right? And then you get to that 25-year milestone. I mean, it doesn't sound like there's bad blood, right? Maybe Phil still does show up during the 25th anniversary, right? You think Peter Moore, Jay Allard, all these people can still come back and celebrate the things that they built over 25 years of Xbox. For Phil Spencer to go from being an intern, you know, to 38 years later, he was literally the gaming CEO for Microsoft, is one hell of a career and one hell of an accomplishment. I mean, regardless of, like I said, you may not agree with certain decisions that was made, pretty sure he's proud of the stuff that he was able to accomplish under his tenure. I can say from personal experience, I was at the 50th anniversary for Microsoft. I was at Redmond on campus. Satya Nadella, obviously it was very Copilot AI focused, what they were talking about. But the point is, I'm literally watching Phil Spencer being treated like a rock star by Microsoft employees, right? He's literally sitting with Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer and obviously Satya Nadella. That's where he was as far as how he ascended. You know, it's so funny because, like I said, Bill Gates got to talk, Steve Ballmer got to talk, And Phil Spencer got to talk during that keynote that was happening that day. And that really resonated with me to see how much he was respected internally by Microsoft employees for a lot of the stuff that he was able to do. I've said this a few times already, and it's just the God honest truth. Anyone that I've spoken to over the years that works at that Xbox, not one person has had a bad word to say about Phil Spencer. Not a, man, don't be believing all that stuff. We did, like, there was never any of that side-eye talk, nothing. It was always positive about, he cared about the people that worked under him. He would go to bat for you multiple times. And again, you would be surprised at some of the people that he fought for. I was like, wow, really? That kind of conversation. So at the end of the day, he's a good dude. I will always say that until the end of time. He is just a good person. Like I said, his business decisions you may not have ultimately agreed with, but the Phil Spencer, the person, good guy. I will always stand on that hill and say that. And I'll just tell you now, I did have a little bit of back and forth with him after the announcement. And I just told him straight up, you will be missed. You will be missed. But I understand nothing is forever. Change has to happen. So now we move forward with Asha. Look, I said on Iron Lords earlier, I personally think we need to give her some grace. Give her some grace. Let's see what her vision is. Let's see what her partnership with Matt Booty is going to look like and what their vision is going to be before we prejudge it and condemn it because she came from an AI world. We simply don't know what she's going to do. And I'll say this really quick, because unfortunately I'm going to have to take off in a second.
Gotcha.
I think the real important piece here, first of all, I love Sarah Bond to death. Hate that she had to leave, but I get it in that if they decided we want Asha to be the CEO after it was pretty clear that she was being groomed to be the CEO, I would leave too. So I ain't mad at that at all. You know, totally get it. Obviously, she's a real one. Anyone that has had any conversations with her, you will know how great of a person she is too. So kudos to Sarah Bond. But I do want to bring up Matt Booty for a second.
Yes.
Because he's in a position now. He's essentially replaced Sarah Bond. Let's just keep it real. Chief Content Officer. He's the number 2 now. For all intents and purposes, he's the one that will be running Xbox in the sense that Asha is going to need to lean on his experience being at Xbox for X amount of years in making certain decisions, understanding where the bodies are buried, all that kind of stuff. And I'm bringing up Matt Booty in this sense. Because he's not been as public facing as Phil and Sarah, obviously, right? I don't even think he does social media, but you know, his on camera presence has been limited in comparison. So I've only got a chance to talk to him a couple times over the years. And this last Summer Game Fest, I had the opportunity where I had an extended conversation with him. This is the most I'd ever talked to Matt Booty, right? So I actually got to know him and understand his background and what his interests are and the things that he's excited about. And out of that conversation, I learned a lot about the man. And I'm just now, for people that may not realize this, Matt Booty is a game dev. That's his background. Back in the Midway days, like, you know,
that's what's up.
That's where he comes from. He understands game development. We talking again, not to go on our conversation because that's just between me and him, but you would be surprised at how much he knows. Pretty sharp dude, very sharp dude. I get all the internet, you know, you see the memes and the conversations about all that, but there's a reason he's a number 2 right now. And let's not forget, he was already overseeing all the studios anyways. So I think whatever the future of Xbox is, he's going to be essential to that, especially in the short term. And just the one little nugget I will give about our conversation, because I remember I'm asking him about, like, at the time, I'm like, why are y'all putting out Ninja Gaiden, Keeper, and Outer Worlds 2, like all 3 in October? Why aren't you spreading them out? And his comment back to me was, we got to get these games out because the roadmap going into 2026 and beyond is so stacked. If a game's ready to go, I got to get it out. That was what he told me. you know, and that stuck with me. And he said that in June of 2025. He said that to me. And now look where we are, because you see what's coming in 2026, potentially what's coming in 2027 and beyond. So I get it. So I'm saying all that to say this. Love Phil to death. I think he's a great guy. Love Sarah. I think she's great as well. They've done a lot for Xbox. Let's not get that twisted at all. Let's at least see what Asha is going to do under her leadership, along with Matt Booty. But I will say this, none of it matters if the games aren't great.
Yep.
Full stop.
True.
They got to be great. If the games aren't great, I don't care what your vision are, because we're not going to buy or play your games if they're not good. So let's see what Forza Horizon 6 is going to be, which I think will be good. Let's see what Fable's going to be, which again, I think will be good, because Playground, don't miss. Very excited for Gears of War E-Day.
They're like
very
Bluepoint.
excited. You had to say that. But my point is, you look at Xbox's roadmap, and I see a lot of great titles that are coming. Gears of War E-Day on down the line. Obviously, Clockwork Revolution, we'll see as we move forward. But I think the one valid critique that Xbox has had under Phil Spencer's tenure, and this is valid, I don't think you can get around this, is where are the true Game of the Year contenders under Xbox Game Studios? I mean, there's been a few, like I think of Psychonauts 2, something like that. Obviously, Forza Horizon 5 was. So I'm not saying, oh, the Xbox games are terrible or anything. I loved Avowed. I loved Outer Worlds 2 as an example. But they need to start hitting on these prestige titles. They need to make these games so undeniable that Jeff Keighley in the Game Awards, which, hey, I've been a judge. I've voted on the Game Awards, so blame me. But where it's just undeniable that these games are going to be in consideration for Game of the Year, right?
Yeah.
And I'll say this, just what kind of funny. We do a fantasy draft every year, right?
Yeah.
The first pick in our fantasy draft this year, and no one blinked an eye, was Forza Horizon 6. I think that says a lot. I think it says a lot. No one even questioned it, blinked an eye. Everyone was like, yeah. Because that's just how good Forza Horizon, that series, has become. So I do think Xbox does have a huge opportunity this year with the award season to have some titles that'll be in consideration.
Yeah, to that point, one of the ones that I was very disappointed with was Indiana Jones coming out in December. I'm like, why did you do this? You had the opportunity. If that game had come out at the right time, right, it could have been considered, especially that year when it came out.
Well, think about it. Troy Baker would have won if it would have been,
yes,
if it would have come out. Yeah.
Unfortunately, he was considered the following year when it had, like, there was so many other stellar performances. You're like, oh, it's just not gonna happen.
Oh, they should have just held it to launch it on PlayStation, and it would have definitely won.
And can I say this one other thing, and then I am going to have to bail out, unfortunately.
The floor is yours.
With Asha, look, whether she's tweeting it, her assistant's tweeting it, is AI, I don't know. I really don't care. But when she replies to someone asking about exclusivity and says, I hear you, take it for exactly what it's saying. I hear what you're saying, but that does not mean exclusivity is coming back. I have seen some of the wildest stuff online. People just doing Bikram yoga stretches, trying to fit in what they wanted to be off of those 2 words or 3 words. I hear you, or hear you. It was 2 words. All she said was hear you.
I hear you. Yep.
Exclusivity's gone. It is not coming back. For everything that we've already talked about, they got to make money. And if exclusivity wasn't making the money before, why do you think magically reverting it back to that is going to make them money now?
Yeah, exactly. Point well taken, sir. I know you're going to take. Well, before we go around the horn, definitely. I know you got to. You're going to take off, and I appreciate you so much for jumping on. We always enjoy having you on here. I already added you to the thumbnail and added your information to the notes so that people could do it. But I'm also going to put this up real quick. That is over in the corner by King's Head, right there. There is the QR code for Parris Lilly's YouTube channel. So please, if you have your phone handy and you're watching, check it out. You can, if you're on your computer or your TV, hold your phone up. do that scan and make sure you do a like and subscribe to Parris's channel. You definitely want to subscribe to his channel and hit the bell icon so you make sure you don't miss out on any of his content. He puts out some amazing content on his own, really doing a great job, and an amazing member of the community. I can't say it enough. It was a pleasure to meet him last year. I'm going to hopefully run into you again this year too, because I'm going to be there. June's going to be really interesting now. That's all I got to say. Woo!
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm so happy that he has a channel now, because I've always said that he is the content.
Well, part of the problem, unfortunately, is I'm very lazy. So I
know about your thumbnail game. I know what's up.
Oh, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. But believe it or not, I will have something out later this week.
Nice.
So
Nice.
Can't say what it is, but if you fill in the blanks, you probably would know, especially if you saw something I attended this week in Los Angeles. I'll give you a good hint, but I'll leave it at that. But I do have to go, but I do appreciate you, Dave. Obviously, always love coming on. And it was a pleasure meeting you in person. Hargeet, I swear to God, I see you all the time now at an event. So it's always good. And King, you already know, man.
I see. Listen, this is the reason why his camera's off, because actually I'm him, and I'm tweeting. I'm writing everything into my AI bot that generates the voice. So you'll never see us occupy the same space at the same time. I was figuring out how I was going to do it today, but I did it. I pulled it off. Later, me.
All right, later, man. Y'all have a good rest of the show.
Have a great night. Okay. All right. That was great. Hargeet, there's that little I thought that was kind of funny.
I know somebody's named themselves Asha Sharma Queen. Yes, nice. Yeah. You ain't gonna believe what we had got in store for y'all.
Too funny. Shout out to Fun Speculation Mav in the chat as well. Over 400 people watching us live now. Thank you so much for joining us. So Hargeet, it's your turn. Get your thoughts off real quick on Phil, and then we'll go around.
Yeah. So first, I don't know if people have been saying this or not, but Phil, congratulations on your retirement.
Yes.
Thank you for all the things that you've done for the industry. You've certainly had a very large impact. You've made some great decisions, and and some of them maybe not so great, but like you've certainly changed the industry. And I appreciated a lot of the things you did, and hopefully most of the gamers out there do appreciate some of the things you've done. But yeah, and congratulations. Enjoy your retirement. I hope it's all great. I hope you have a hobby besides gaming, but yeah, I'm sure you at least will start playing in your backlog. You at least have that, but definitely have something else to do, because you're going to get bored otherwise. And we all know what happens when you retire and you don't have anything to do. It's not good news. So please go have fun, enjoy your family. I hear you on like the health thing. I think people are saying, hey, he's only 58. You have to understand, at some point the dude's like a multi-millionaire, okay? Like multi-deca millionaire. At some point you have enough. And it's like, you see all your friends are like, dude, that guy just you grew up with that guy, he died.
Yeah.
Like, this is just the reality of things, right? And you're like, maybe I need to like calm down and get out of this, because it's not like he has a day where nobody piles on him for no good reason. So there's only so much of that shit you can keep taking every day. And he's like, yo, I'm out. I'm out. And what just happened recently? Vince Zampella, of all people, died in a freaking car crash.
Yeah.
Like, you just never know. And it's like, you know what? At some point, I got enough. I've done enough. I've put my mark on the industry. Time to move on. So congratulations, sir. Enjoy your well-deserved retirement. I hope you have a wonderful, long life from here on, where you just enjoy your family, enjoy your time, enjoy your life. Do whatever you want to. But hey, if you ever want to join us on a podcast, come on over. We'll be happy to host you. So come on now. But yeah, enjoy. I hope you have a wonderful life. So apart from that, I don't know if we want to get into Sarah. That one was
you know what, let's just go ahead and because we've going kind of long, and I know King is
okay. So then I'll just get into like my thoughts of the announcement.
Yes.
This was certainly an organizational decision. It was not a Phil decision. If you're doing it based on somebody, we got a thing coming in.
Stop speaking logically, it confuses people, lol.
Right.
Look, if it was up to the normal management that's there, they would obviously say, all right, I'm going to give you a 6-month, 1-year lead, right? Hey, I'm going to retire at the end of blah, blah, blah time. And I will start setting things up. And the reason you don't like just immediately go, it leaves your employees in the lurch. They are sitting there saying, what the fuck just happened? Right. Whereas if you say, look, guys, a year and a half from now, I'm out. Okay. I got to go with my, deal with, things in my life. And I want to, hang out with my family. I have kids, grandkids, whatever it is. Right. Fair enough. That's all fair. Right. But you say, okay, I'm giving you a year and a half. I'm going to start setting things up and we're going to make sure that there's a good transition. All of you will be working in this with me and blah, blah, blah. Right. That way you give everybody comfort that, hey, this isn't we're changing everything. This is hey, we're just shifting from somebody's just retiring. It's just normal. It happens. That's fine. Right.
Yeah.
That isn't what happened here. It was just a sudden goodbye. Like if we had heard like all the employees were notified, mid last year, that's not what happened. Right. This is just an immediate sudden goodbye. So to me, this is far more decisions were made. And it was probably after like the quarterly results. They're like, yeah, we don't like where this is going and we want to make a change. And it could be that Phil has been saying, hey, I want to start the transition process. I want to start moving towards my retirement and I think all of us have come to that, the obvious conclusion that he would most likely say, let's get through this year, the 25th anniversary. I want to get through the 25th anniversary celebration at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. And then next year, I'm going to retire and somebody else will take over. I'm sure in his mind, it was like, hey, I'm getting Sarah up to speed. She would be the heir apparent. And that would be the way to go. That did not happen. Right. So when that happened, there are other pieces that would then fall into place. We'll kind of get into that, but it is a little disappointing that after that much tenure, I think he's the longest tenured, besides Gabe, you could say, right?
That, got a job for him,
right? Because he owns Valve. That has run a major gaming platform, and it's a pretty big deal that he's done that. He brought basically Xbox from the brink of not existing to a prominent position where it is like one of the top 3, 4, 5 gaming companies, right? So that's a pretty big step. It's good. They're not in perfect shape, but they're also not in terrible shape. They're in a pretty good position. There are things that are just different. The industry, as we've been talking throughout this podcast, has shifted. There are changes, all over the place, and they are grappling with it, but they also have a good plan as far as what they've been thinking about. You heard all these things from them already. Hey, we have to contend with shorter attention spans. We have to contend with other media forms that are taking away eyeballs. We have to figure out how to get to mobile, how to get to cloud, how to get to whatever it is, right? They've been looking at every potential avenue. How do we then make the experience seamless for the player so they don't care I was playing on this or that or that or this? It all just flows in seamlessly and your game just works. Your save is there. Your progression continues, right? They've been working all that, right? So they've had a good vision, and that was all under Phil, right? So you could say somebody else might have come up with all this. Yeah, but he had to green light all that. He had to say, yeah, that makes sense. Let's do that, right? And so it's his vision that was like, yep, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this, right? And there's a lot of cool things that he put in place. So it is a little disappointing that it was just a goodbye, right? You got a couple of days, get out. And yes, he'll be on an advisory role. He'll still be around advising, but essentially he's gone. And that's just a little weird to me. Hopefully there will be something where the fans can celebrate with him.
Yes.
Hopefully maybe they do something in June. I'm just saying. But we'll see.
Or maybe there's a certain community fan fest that
we shall see. We shall see.
Have an individual showing up.
Yeah, so we will see, right? And if it came to us doing it, we would 100% invite Phil to come in if it's viable for him to do so, 100%. And hopefully Sarah as well. I don't know what her status is going to be, but we'll see what happens. But either way, at least he's there through the summer, he said. So that means at least June showcase, he should be around in some capacity. Let's see what that yields. But yeah, I was a little disappointed with the way they handled it. But yeah, he's gone. That is kind of shocking. I think Parris said it's shocking, but not unexpected.
Right.
And yeah, we all expected at some point this was going to happen. It's just I was expecting next year. I was expecting get through the 25th, announce the next generation, and then sunset, right? And go, and you're good. But and then you leave your leadership heir apparent, right, in position. That is not what happened. So obviously the company decided to go a different direction. So that is going to be a much more interesting topic. But anyways, do you want to go to the next part?
I do. And again, shout out to the over 400 people here watching us live. Thank you all so much for joining us. We do appreciate great members of the community here with us as well. DeMarco Dude, Mav from Fun Speculation, and so many others that are in the chat. Red Dead Panda, Epic Treasure, Holly That Blue Number, and so many more that have been through the chat tonight. We really appreciate you. All right, so Hargey, I'll let you read the top part of that, and then we'll find out what King's thoughts are, and then we'll go around.
All right, so Fun Speculation, Mav, how's it going, buddy? I am pretty sure they will have a fan fest this year, being the 25th anniversary.
Hope so.
I don't know the answer to that yet, and it's kind of important that we do know the answer since we were hosting the other ones. So we will find out.
There won't be one.
We will find out.
Well, hopefully there'll be at least a fan put on Fan Fest. Maybe there we go.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
that's
Yeah. We will absolutely step in if they're not doing one. That yes, we will do that.
Shout out to you, Zena. Good seeing you.
All right. Do you want me to read this?
Yes.
All right. So Asha Sharma is now leading Microsoft Gaming. Most people are asking, who is she? The better question is, what kind of leader is she? And what does that signal for Xbox? She sat down with, who's this? Fenny Sun? I can't even tell her because it's color 6 months ago, and laid out exactly how she thinks. And then it just kind of goes into a whole bunch of different things. You want me to read all these, or
just
her
read
background? Yep, yeah. Her background in 30 seconds. VP of Product and Engineering at Meta. She led the Messenger. CEO at Instacart. Drove profitability plus IPO path. President of is that Core AI? I think Core AI at Microsoft. 80,000 plus companies building with AI. Interesting. Okay. She's not a random AI exec. She's a platform operator. Interesting. It's Lenny. Okay. Lenny's podcast. She introduced a concept that explains how she'll likely approach Xbox. Products as organisms. Well, that's an interesting thing to say. Okay. Not static artifacts you ship and forget, but living systems that learn, adapt, and evolve through continuous feedback loops. Oh, interesting. Sound familiar?
Sounds like AI.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Her framework for successful AI companies maps directly to Xbox's challenge. Phase 1, build a magical demo. Phase 2, that great demo we had for Sons of Sparta. I'm sorry. Is that?
I'm done.
Phase 2, build a reliable system around it. Phase 3, build a business around the system. Most companies get stuck at phase 1. Xbox has been stuck between phase 2 and there's like a show more there and 3 for years. Yeah. Okay. And then we have one of her strongest ideas, the loop, not the lane. Traditional orgs run in lanes, siloed teams, rigid hierarchies, and handoffs. She argues the future is loops, the continuous cycles of sensing, deciding, and acting. Xbox's biggest structural problem has been exactly this: too many lanes, not enough loops. It's an interesting point. On planning, she introduces Microsoft's seasons framework. That was seasons framework. Next, not rigid annual roadmaps. That's a good plan. Basically, but I thought they were doing agile anyways. But anyways, short adaptive.
It's just Bruce Lee's concept of be like water.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Cycles defined by secular shifts like the rise of agents. Okay. Loose quarterly OKRs, short execution bursts, intentional slack for slope. I like all this sounds agile though, but anyways, this is how she'll likely run Xbox's strategic cadence. but I thought they were already doing agile. Anyways, the quote that the quote that matters most for gamers, she said, platform fundamentals, reliability, latency, safety, performance matter more than flashy features. Invisible infrastructure creates durable advantage. That's the most reassuring thing an Xbox CEO could say right now. Yeah, I tend to agree with that. You don't want to know that things are down, right? If you know they're down, that means something went wrong.
Yep.
So it should just be invisible and it works. But anyways, moving on. I don't know if there's more. It looks like
if you want to read, okay. If you want to keep reading this, because just a little bit more.
And her no soulless AI slop comment. It's not about avoiding AI. It's about using AI to enhance human crafted art, not replace it. The goal is feedback loops that make games better, not content generated for the sake of efficiency. AI as a tool for artistry, not a substitute for it. Okay, and I can see that. I can see that in some places. On leadership, she talked about what she learned from Satya Nadella. Optimism is a renewable resource. Interesting. Energy, clarity, and belief in the mission sustain execution in fast-moving environments. That's not corporate fluff. That's how Satya built Microsoft from the inside out. Satya didn't build Microsoft. But anyways, here's why this matters for Xbox. She's not a gamer. She said that herself. But she's a platform builder who understands feedback loops, developer ecosystems, and scaling consumer products to billions. And I hope she pushes back. This is just my saying anyways, but Xbox doesn't need another gamer at the top. It needs a systems thinker. I think it should be both. But anyway, from my perspective, the major problem that I see with Microsoft is they have far more enterprise thinking than they do consumer thinking, and consumer businesses just run very differently than enterprise businesses. Enterprises write checks for here's how many tens of thousands of employees I have. That's not how consumers work. Consumers work on, did I like the taste of my soda? I'm switching to the other one. It's all emotions. It's all emotions. So you have to you have to actually work to that emotion. If she's based on consumer stuff, hopefully that's a good sign. But we will see if she can actually evoke that for gamers, because we also are a specific animal. It's just the way it is.
There you go. There you go. All right, King, your thoughts on the promotion and this and the new person in charge. Obviously, we want to give her a chance, but what are your thoughts right out of the gate?
Well, initially, we didn't have Sarah for a long period of time to actually gauge what her expertise can be out in the wild based upon her being freed from letting the reins off from Phil's tutelage, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've always explained to people, anytime I saw her, I saw him. Anytime I saw him, I saw her. And it was this is how we move in this space type of thing. This is what we do over here. Or I'll send you out to go take care of this, and handing little tasks over as she went from smaller to larger to greater tasks until, ultimately she was president of Xbox. And where her vision with Play Anywhere and all this other stuff, she parroted a lot of Phil's talking points and kind of understood her role. She was pretty much defined. So she was pretty much a more aggressive clone of Phil to her detriment. You see, because what Satya wants is a clone of Satya.
Yep. Makes sense.
Now, not taking anything away from Asha, because I don't know exactly everything with Asha. I haven't had a chance to talk to Asha. Me and Asha follow each other. We haven't had a chance to talk yet. And at some point in time, we'll have those conversations about that. Just, basically whatever it is. But how I see it, from her verbiage, from her background, from everything, she is what would put a twinkle in the eye of somebody who's enamored with AI. We can all agree that Satya is royally enamored with AI, with his conversations.
Button bow, Bo.
Sorry.
Oh, what up, Bounty? with his affiliation with Sam Altman that actually blinded him to how Sam Altman ultimately moves. Sam Altman has zero loyalty to anyone. He has loyalty to only himself. And to Satya Nadella's detriment, and going to rip Sam Altman away from OpenAI and place him inside Microsoft, that ultimately gave Sam Altman leverage in going back to OpenAI, and then him partnering with OpenAI, Anthropic, and other AI companies. Listen, I do this for a living. I am working on a documentary, so I know exactly what I'm talking about. That led to that giant pitfall that Microsoft just had recently with its 17% loss in stock earnings that resulted in $468 billion in net loss, where they were supposed to be trending upwards to 18% positive. That would have resulted in them overtaking NVIDIA. How did that happen? Well, Sam Altman decided to make pacts with NVIDIA, their true rival, and Apple in the spaces that weakened Microsoft's leverage. Shareholders got scared, dropped stuff down to the bottom, hedge roll, blah, blah, blah. So now in a place of uncertainty, what you try to do is try to get people that is aligned in your vision, because this is Satya's last stand. You can't go and lose $1 trillion, close to $1 trillion, and think your neck isn't next. It's just the way of business.
Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, making Xbox out to be the scapegoat during last financials by pointing to the downward trend in hardware, which you facilitated and you made, you engineered to look that way, to say gaming and services is down by 9% based upon things you've engineered, because a lot of things happened on your say-so, ultimately allowed for certain things to happen. Now that you have your people in place, and I would find out exactly what conversations. Are you a puppet of this regime, which everybody is absolutely a puppet of parent company. We're not going to act like Xbox was a rogue agent running around and, CEOs was doing what they wilt with whatever. That's not how it works. Your boss give you marching orders. You kind of do exactly what your boss does, but you do have fight back, and they did hire you to have an opinion and a roadmap to what you feel is best. That voice is gone. The voice that would have parroted that voice is gone. So now you're left with this voice. We don't know what direction she would go in. And looking from the outside and not just trying to judge a book by its cover, but you're just justified by your future actions, by your past actions. And in the past, you have gone to companies, you have been in places, and you have elevated them. But in the past, you have also utilized AI in a sense that is palatable to Satya. Satya understands that Xbox's and Microsoft's overall goal to overtake NVIDIA as the number one company in the world, dollar percentage, is to dominate in the AI space. There's a reason why they step away from Sam Altman and OpenAI and going in their own direction. All that stuff is verifiable, and making their own stuff. I believe that Asha's main goal is to get the next console out that is heavily AI infused, to then take that data to run that up to Microsoft, because right now the Azure cloud system and the servers aren't producing what the revenue is needed. You'll see that in the next fiscal earnings call. So her job is to make that pillar, because Xbox is a pillar in Microsoft, no matter what y'all think, is very integral in their strategy to make that profitable. And when I tell you profitable, these companies sell your data, and by selling your data, they make money. You are a commodity to them. So if they're losing your data to other devices or other apps, that is a detriment to them. That's why TikTok is so detrimental to what their agenda is. I think she fits the mold for the agenda. I think she fits the mold for the plan. What does that mean for us as gamers? As gamers, I think that we're fine. Now, I'm not the dude sitting in the house and the house is burning down. What I'm trying to explain to you is your digital self being what Phil did as far as Xbox goes, and he intrinsically locked it into what Microsoft is. Your next Windows, I told you Windows 12 will have Xbox ingrained inside the kernel.
Mm-hmm.
So your digital self is preserved in that space as long as you're part of the service. I don't believe consoles will continue to be a thing. I believe that the next console is just a conduit to extending that services. You see, they took Windows from being a purchase-only application and turned it into a service. They turned it into a live service. Like Windows has turned into Fortnite. If you didn't see it, it happened, and it happened so quickly. That's why they're trying to get you off of Windows 10 to stay on Windows 11, to introduce the Windows 12, which is the ultimate operating system that will usher in the end of what Proton and all that stuff is doing. When Sarah Bond spoke out of turn, she spoke and she said Windows is the best platform. You're not really seeing the forest for the trees, but I believe Asha understands how to make those connection points. And I think she's integral to Satya's plan. So again, as Xbox guys, I think your games is always going to be there. You got Matt Booty that's in charge of that aspect of it. Those games will be coming down the pipeline. I told you it's going to turn into a Pacquiao fight. Games will be at a rapid pace. They will be there. We're looking for the quality of those games, and those games should deliver. What I'm afraid of is Game Pass and what that looks like, right? Does Game Pass turn into day and date leaving, and you still have Game Pass because they do need that subscription service, because they do need monthly active users. Those monthly active users is the lifeblood of how they extrapolate the data to sell the data. So as an Xbox person, you're always fine as long as you have cash to pay to stay inside the ecosystem. That's the main thing. So again, I think she's in a position to do what's best for the company being Microsoft, and the brand being Xbox, being that she's the CEO of it. But I'm still on a look-see thing. I don't know what she does different, because Phil came in with change, complete change, structure, and building. The house is already built. The most that you can do is probably remodel the bathroom and the kitchen. That's about it, bro. Like, what else are you going to do, really? You're just overseeing everything that was built in place. It's not like you are building from the ground up. Phil came in, brought in 30 studios for you to have. You got developers now. You got Todd Howard. You and then established a pipeline with PlayStation games, like and Nintendo. He handed out these contracts knowing that his tenure was up at some point, and all she has to do is make sure that she doesn't mess up. That's it. That's all. Launch the next console, AI infused. Don't mess up. Let Matt run what Matt has always been running, and just don't say anything out of turn. That's it. Just don't mess up.
Mm.
That's all. So, and I think that she'll be great at it because we haven't had her in anything that she's messed up in. So I think she'll be great at that.
There you go. There you go. King, thank you so much for your insight and for joining us tonight. It's been fantastic having you on. Just wanted to say that. Hargeet, your thoughts?
So for Sarah, look, I think King, you mentioned it. Basically, like she was heir apparent, which would have been continuing the process of what Phil and Sarah had been putting together. And I think they just wanted to go in a different direction. And even if it wasn't that, I think with the musical chairs of Matt Booty kind of taking over the rest, there just wasn't a chair for her anymore. And I think so one way or the other, it was like kind of the end of the road for that. So whether she was forced out, whether she just said, hey, you didn't pick me, I'm out. It could be either one of those. You know, either way, it's kind of sad to see that you know, just kind of fell apart, but it is what it is. Companies change. This is being at the CX level, right? The CXO level, CEOs, whatever, they're always up for debate as to whether they're doing enough of an effective job. And so if you're going to be head of whatever it is, you can be replaced if you're not doing what they want. So that's just the way it goes. And whether it was your fault or not, whether it was somebody underneath you did something wrong, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, the blame falls on you, and you will end up taking it. And so whether it was Phil or whether it was Sarah, I think they just basically said, nope, we're good with both of the both of you, because you are the ones running everything outside of the content. And Matt Booty was just sitting there making the games. Fair enough. Fine. Now I think he is going to be taking over for the rest of it. If he is, okay, because I haven't heard about a replacement for Sarah Bond. So I think it really is just Matt. If not, we will hopefully hear something there. And that we will see somebody who takes over for that part of the business. But maybe there isn't somebody taking over that part of the business, and maybe it's directly going to be Asha's taking over the whole thing, and she'll be the one running the platform. Fair enough. Again, we will see where that goes. As far as Asha, I think Parris said, give her grace. Like, yes, I'm cautiously optimistic that this could be good, but here's my problem. Phil would go play games. Then he would say, hey, this looks cool. Let me bring it to the platform. Let me bring it to Game Pass. I don't see her doing that. Okay. And there's so many games that are like that. Even, Sarah to a point was doing that too, to bring games to Game Pass. Right. So maybe you could say, hey, she'll pick it up. Okay. But like, I don't know. If you're not a core gamer, you don't know. You might buy into the hype that somebody's selling you, versus I put hands on controller and I can feel that this is a good game or not. Right. And I don't know if you get that if you're not you're a gamer. It is what it is. Right. And when you're a gamer, you just know, hey, I played this thing. Nah, I played this thing. There's something there. I can make it into something good, or it is good and it just needs a little bit more polish. Like, you can just tell, right? So somebody who plays, you can understand, right? But like, and this is where I don't know, right? Phil looks at Bungie and says, you're asking too much. I don't like where you're going. No. Jim doesn't know what he was buying. Just be honest. I'm just being honest. Doesn't know what he's buying. He's looking at it on paper and saying, that looks good. Did he sit there and play Marathon? Did he sit there and play Destiny? Did he sit there and say, well, will that work with the gamer? That's what you miss. Phil can see that because he's a gamer. So he can sit there and say, well, would I buy that? Would I play that? And this is my hesitation, right? It's like saying I want to be like the guy who builds an entire restaurant chain, but I hate food. Like, well, dude,
he got a steakhouse, but he a vegan.
Literally, right? It's like, bro, like, how do you know? How do you know? Like, so I hear you that maybe it doesn't matter, but to me it does. Okay, like, I trusted Phil because Phil fucking plays games. He knows what I would want to play, and that's the thing. He brought those gems over because he's like, I liked it. I think others will like it. Let me put that in Game Pass. Let me make that investment. Right? Did it always work? No, but a lot of times it did work. And so like I this is the part that I have a hesitation on. And so I'm cautiously optimistic that maybe in some parts of this it'll work. What I'm not sure about is, like you mentioned, is Game Pass even going to be Game Pass anymore? I don't know. If Game Pass isn't going to give me content I care about, that's going to be a major loss. Is Game Pass even going to constitute itself to give me day-and-date games? I don't know, right? These are things that are now up in the air. The last part of her messaging was we're going to take bold steps to look at things that don't work and get rid of them. Well, what is it that doesn't work? Tell me what that is, right? So, and then I have to say, well, there's input from a certain guy above you who's going to be like, I like me the cloud, which I can give two fucks about. If you want my opinion, shut that shit off. Stop wasting money building data centers out for fucking useless cloud. Instead, invest that in games I want to play. I don't care about cloud. If you want people to pay for cloud, fine. Go create a tier of cloud service. You pay $10-15 a month for cloud access. Enjoy that. The last time we had a freaking increase in Game Pass was because of cloud. It was to pay for cloud, which went production. And I have zero interest in that. I'd rather pay $20 a month for Ultimate. And all of you who want cloud, fine. Pay $10-15 extra. Go get your cloud. I'd pay $20 and I'll still be happy playing my Game Pass Ultimate. If you want something to get rid of
No,
we got confirmation. That was what it was. It was literally to pay for cloud.
Yeah, but
I got it from inside sources.
Yeah, it was to pay for cloud, but also the leveraging of the Fortnite whatchamacallit,
which was the benefit they gave you.
Right, the so-called benefit, because they got a discount messing with Epic.
Of course.
So
there's a lot behind that too, the Epic deal, right? Because there's a lot going on in that, but fair enough. So
the data,
but remember, they did it for premium, right? They bumped up premium, which doesn't give you Fortnite. They bumped up core, which doesn't give you, and all of it went up for cloud. So if you want my advice, Asha, get rid of stupid cloud.
Ain't gonna never happen.
Ain't gonna happen.
You won't. I know you won't, because your boss is like cloud. So okay, fine. That's what's gonna happen, and you're gonna keep going down this path that's ultra expensive, that has very little sell to gamers. It's convenient. I don't care. I don't want to spend $500 million, $1 billion, $4 billion on cloud. It's useless to me. I want games. I want my platform to play games. You can make the console. You can put it in my TV. You can put it in my PC. I don't need cloud.
Sound like a
very nice of you to put it there. I don't care about it. So if you really want to take a bold decision, if you really want a bold decision, get rid of that freaking boondoggle and invest instead in games. That's what I'd do. You're not going to do it. I know you're not, because Satya is like, oh, cloud. That's all he wants. Cloud. I get it. He looks at his cloud revenue. It's like, oh, that's awesome. But does it translate to games? I don't know. It's a very expensive proposition. To me, it's a very little value. Let NVIDIA do that shit.
Well, when all those CEOs sit down and talk, if you listen to Jeff Bezos when he was having a symposium to all the other CEOs, and Satya was there, their main goal is to make sure you own absolutely nothing.
Right.
The socialist dream.
Not even the PCs. They want you to rent from the cloud. They want you to take your keyboard. They want you to have a monitor. They want you to have a dongle, and they want you to use the power of their servers without ever having to have a PC. This is factual data,
charging.
And that's all.
I totally understand.
And it sucks, but
there you go. If you want to listen to us, listen to me, I have no interest in that. I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
I want my platform. I want to play my games. I don't care about your stupid cloud. There are plenty out there who might, but it's like, you know what? You want to do that? Fine. Make it a whole monetization process where they can pay for it. I don't want to pay for it. So keep my Game Pass, keep my day and dates, give me console, give me PC. I'm happy. Give me tons of games. I'm happy. If you continue adding a whole bunch of content into Game Pass, I'm happy. If you're telling me you want to do these weirdo things, go for it. I don't care. I don't care.
There
like,
you go.
and if you say like, oh, you know what? I need to have Copilot in my gaming. Okay. Like if that investment is more than like $10, I don't care. If that investment is like for you, because I don't want you spending money on stupid shit. So like I don't see the value in that. People can easily go to YouTube and look up a guide. It's just not that valuable to me to have that be in Copilot. If that costs you like $700 million to do, scrap. Goodbye. Scrap that shit. Don't even talk to me about it. If that thing costs you like it'll cost us like $20,000, fine. Waste your money, $20,000 to have Copilot in your stupid Windows gaming thing or your next console. Again, these are just things. If I had to weigh them, it's like tell me what the value is to the gamer and why am I wasting money on it? If there's a value to be gained, fine. You think it's cool. I don't care if it's cool. I think it matters if people get value. And there's been too much of this, like, oh, we need to expand into these other cool areas that people will. Nobody's liking AI. You literally start off by saying AI slop. You literally started by saying that. You know people hate it. They hate it. So like, stop even putting it in our faces. When you come up with the next version of the Windows experience for gaming, cut out Copilot, cut out Teams, cut out like every one of those fluff things that nobody cares about and make it core gaming. That's the stuff you need to do. And like, instead of wasting time on all this other shit.
Celebrates 19 months of membership.
Thank you, Thatch.
Thank you, Thatch.
Blessings, man.
So yes, my rant, I understand, but I'm like, look, if there's going to be a time to give feedback, now's it. And those are the things I want. I want to keep my Game Pass. I want to keep my my day and dates for all of your content and third-party stuff that you've been putting in. I want games that are interesting being put into the Game Pass, service. And I like my PC. I like my console. I want to keep that. So those are the things I'm looking for. Let's see where you go with it. You want to, bring the Xbox gamer back. You want to make us happy. Well, guess what we liked? Games, games. That's what we want, and we want our platform. It's got to work. It's got to be good. That's what we're looking for. One of the things we're all afraid of, we understand it's going to happen, is like the new consoles are going to be very, very expensive. Do what you can to make that not be the case. Right, that is up to you to figure out the creative ways you can make it not be ridiculously expensive. Like if you're looking at $1,000, $1,200, $1,500, like it's gonna push people away. It is, right? So if you're looking at console players, they're not looking for that kind of expense, and like it's gonna be a hard sell for a lot of people, and you have to see that. Right? So good luck, enjoy. We'll give you as much opportunity to either make us all enjoy this platform even more, or bury yourself. That's just the way it's gonna go. Like, so I'm hoping you will do the former, and it'll be really good, and the platform will continue to grow.
Hargeet, what if, this is my last little hypothetical and we're going to wrap things up, but what if they utilize the cloud to save on your onboard memory and you save money that way? So you don't have to spend a ton of money on all this huge.
Yeah, that memory thing is a transient issue that's going to go away probably in a year and a half. So I don't care about that being the driver, because like if memory is always going to be expensive, think of every computer that every enterprise has to buy. We have a 3-year cycle or 5-year cycle to replace machines. You're talking like what? They're not going to buy machines. There's going to be an inflated price for every machine that comes. That's not tenable. It has to get fixed. So the AI bubble, by the way, is already starting to burst.
True.
Because there's already realization that all these companies that are investing, they're not making. Microsoft's one of them. Like you said, King, they've down like what, $500-600 billion because the AI bet is failing. It's just the way it is. And like, so people eventually have to figure out, yeah, you can't just keep investing trillions upon trillions of dollars into this boondoggle until it starts making money. I don't think AI is going away. I don't.
Yeah,
but it doesn't have to be this accelerated, ridiculous thing that they're doing right now, where they're like, oh, we need to like build entire power grids just to make AI happen.
Yeah.
Like, bro, slow down. Yes, we can do all that. I'm not saying we shouldn't. Cool. But yeah, maybe we shouldn't take the entire world's supply of everything and allocate it to just this one thing. Perhaps we should also just live our lives.
Maybe.
So, you know, this will get solved. It will get solved. The memory thing, I'm not worried about. Eventually, it's going to say, it's just not tenable to say I can never buy a PC again.
Yeah.
Because my memory will cost $6,000. That's just, it's not a tenable position. It has to come down. There's no way around it.
Read the comment real fast. Just
Hargeet has a bumper sticker that says, I love cloud. I do actually like cloud for different things, not for gaming, but cloud is fantastic. I'm in IT, right? Cloud is fantastic for applications. It's fantastic because I don't have to deal with anything. I love it. So Office 365 is a classic example, or G Suite, classic example. Perfect. Love it. You guys own it. I don't have to upgrade. Great. But that's not an interactive thing where my latency is a problem, where all the headaches of how do I make it work right because it's a game. I don't want any of that. I don't care. It's better for me to just have a platform where I play my games. It's just the way it is.
There you go. There you go. Hargeet, awesome. Thank you so much. We'll get King. Let's get your final thoughts on anything else you want to get your bars off on real quick, and then we're going to wrap things up because I know you've been so gracious to be here tonight. I know you've had a long day at work. You're probably going to be off tomorrow because of the weather. But and again, and I know you got to tend to your wife, which we all of us prayers, and hopefully she gets feeling better soon. Obviously, every man has a great woman behind him. Every great man, I should say, has a great woman behind him, and I know that she's there and backs and supports you 1,000%. And again, thank you so much for your time tonight. So please let anybody know anything else you want to talk about real quick. Anything else you want to say about this whole situation before we wrap them up?
I just want to say for those people that called for Phil and Sarah to be gone, well, you got your wish. What did you think was going to replace him? It's the same people that wish that Michael Jordan was out of the league so you can actually win a championship. What replaced him? You got a league now where you say, well, these guys don't really take it serious and all this other. You don't appreciate greatness while you're watching it. You only can understand that it was great after it's gone. Very few can see greatness and say, that's it. I knew the moment I shook his hand where we were going. I'm so appreciative that I have a front row seat at this. In my life, I am probably the most appreciative person in my life for what I've got a chance to witness up close and personal. And also from a distance, from young to now, I got a chance to appreciate analog. I got a chance to see digital and grow into that space. I got a chance to witness standard definition to when we grew into high definition. I got a chance to realize what tube televisions are versus flat screens, thank God. I've got a chance to witness a ton of things, but most important, the human ingenuity. I got a chance to witness it. What I noticed that's a trait in every great person is when you tell them they can't. Some people get discouraged at can't. For the great ones, that word doesn't even enter their frame. It doesn't exist. Some people tell me that I couldn't be successful having an Xbox channel.
Mm.
I have greatness in front of me. I have greatness around me. I have made sure that I have placed myself around great individuals. I have authors of great science fiction books as a friend that I can dial up and have a conversation with. I have another friend with an electrifying voice that is such a humble individual that I don't do anybody's show on no Sunday. I did 5 hours with Iron Lords. I'm not doing nobody's show, but he's just not nobody. What I can say is I see great people surround themselves with great people. Michael Jordan has Scottie Pippen. Phil finally got his Sarah Bond. And it's fitting that they both walked out the door same together out of here.
Mm-hmm.
It's up. So at the end of the day, y'all got your wish. If my words to y'all ever was hashtag no PlayStation 6, we're going to run it up on these bums. I'm going to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. If that ever meant anything to you, if you said, why does he say that? I'm so sick and tired of him. He can't possibly. I don't believe in can't, dummy. That's why I'm 98% right all the damn time. And all the stuff that I've been telling you has just led to this way. You just ushered in your doom. Phil was always nice. He always understood the gamer's mentality. He always respected the PlayStation gamer. You got somebody there that don't have no pedigree about that stuff right there, and that won't bat an eye in crushing you. Because her ultimate goal is to make sure that Microsoft and the division that she's in charge of wins. And every place that she's been, she's a winner. You're dead, son.
Mm-hmm.
You picked your own doom. You probably really don't understand the person that you was wishing to leave was the person that was keeping you alive.
Mm-hmm.
You're a one-trick pony. Literally. Single-player games are dying. Phil told you that a long time ago. That's why he sent multiplayer games to keep you alive, stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it.
Talk that shit, King. Talk that shit. Sir, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on tonight. And I do.
Blessings.
And I do, me and Hargeet both greatly appreciate and respect and are in awe of your time that you've given us tonight. So we thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. And like I said,
I'm in a huge debt to Hargeet, so Hargeet got my time all the time.
well, it was an absolute honor to meet you in person.
See you this year,
and I will see you again this year for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That Friday morning, I'm planning on getting breakfast again, just so you know. So make sure you have some breakfast, and I'm buying.
we'll be there. Cameras in tow, because I heard that pisses people off.
Exactly. Yeah, and it looks like Chris is going to be hanging with me too, so it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Yeah. We'll put him up so that you guys can be there as well. So I'm loving that, and it's going to be a good time. Good time.
Yes. Blessings. Yeah. So I say good night, fellas. Have a great evening. Everybody that's dealing with this winter weather, I'm about to turn the boiler on to keep this house warm. And go upstairs because, you know, my wife should be sleeping. Her medication should be keeping her in bed. I know she is frustrated with me today, but all I would do would be an annoyance to her when she's
Right.
trying to rest right now, and I'm trying to play Marvel Rivals. So,
In the top corner right there beside your head, King, is a QR code right there that will lead you right to King David's Frontline Gaming. So there you go. Check that out.
We just hit 10K. I'm happy as hell. Thank you. I mean, listen, you, my friend, are integral in that. You're there. Every time I look up, I'm like there. I go live every day, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because somebody told me it was something that I couldn't do. Back at you again with videos that I drop on Frontline Gaming streams. You can go there and check the videos that I do that I curate for you, so you guys can go check that out there. We have Fight Night Fridays on every Friday at 6:30. I roll into that portion of the show where I get a chance to let my partners speak for themselves. Shout out to Razer for formatting me with the tools I need to beat the hell out of y'all on Friday. They send me more stuff, and we're going to do live unboxings. And I'm going to give a shout out to my partners. I think if you don't have Razer, you should have a Razer, especially if you like to competitively game. But I'm going to show you by beating you. So if you show up to Fight Night Friday, you understand that I beat you with the Wolverine version 3 Pro controller that is esports approved, and it's in the green color right here. So again, check us out. We're having fun. Fight Night Fridays. It's free for everyone, because what we do is play 2X KO, and that's a free-to-play game that is taking the world by storm. As a fighting game. And if you're not well-versed in fighting games, don't be averse to showing up. We talk crap to your grandmother, so don't worry about it. Just come in and have fun with us.
Shout out to you, King. Thank you so much. Again.
Blessings.
Stand right back at you, sir. Right back at you. Hargeet Chani, please tell everybody where they can reach out to you, where they can find you on Discord. And I'm going to put up now, I'm going to change that QR code.
All right, let me book you out of here. Blessings, y'all.
See you, buddy.
See ya.
Good night.
Thank you, King. Good night.
All right. So I've Discord mentioned Chani, but my channel's Hargeet Chani 1 on YouTube, and then shop.chani.us for my ebook. I don't know if we're gonna actually be on. Fonz had something coming up, so I don't know if he's gonna be available. If we are, we'll do that Tuesday evening. We'll see Tuesday at 7 p.m. US Eastern time. So it may not happen though. I'll be on with Boom though. Shout out to Boom, who was on here earlier. And we'll be doing that Wednesday at 7 p.m. US Eastern time. So we'll see what the next. I mean, this last week was crazy. Let's see what happens this week. But we'll see what happens. And then on with C-Money and Doodle. Totally missed theirs as well. Boom wanted to do an impromptu thing on Friday at 6 p.m. And then C-Money reaches out at 5 p.m. They want to start. It's like, dude. And I was in the middle of like redoing my machine. My PC's been having issues. So my PC's totally ripped apart. And I'm like, I think I might be able to get it done by 6. It ended up like 7:15, 7:30 or something like that before it actually was fixed. So but it is what it is. So I missed both of those. But either way, I will hopefully be on with C-Money and Doodle on Friday at 8 p.m. US Eastern time. So check that out. Plenty of fun stuff going on. I guess it's getting crazy now. We thought there was like a slow news time. It's like, okay, let's accelerate the news. We probably will get some interesting stuff going on over the next few weeks, especially GDC's coming up. So it's probably going to get more and more interesting news time.
Oh, yes.
Either way, we'll see what happens. So we'll be here next Sunday, and let's see what craziness goes on this coming week.
I know. It was a long show today, so thank you so much. Almost 3.5 hours.
Great show, though, I think. I think it was a great show. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it.
Yes.
Shout out to Paris who dropped in.
Exactly. Thanks to everybody for hanging out with us. Let's see me scroll up and take that off there, and then we'll do our we'll do the outro music, and we'll be out of there, guys. Thank you all so much. Please hit the like button on the way out. Hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We definitely appreciate that. King is so great having him on tonight. Great having Boomstick on, and of course PARRIS LILLY jumping on for a while. All the information is in the description below, so please make sure you check. If you listen back later on audio, please make sure you check the description there. All the links to all these great people that have been on with with us tonight are there as well. And of course, I think Dirk Griggity says it best.
If you like this video, please hit the like button.
Oh yeah. And I think we're out of here. Don't you think so, Mr. Peanut?
Let's ride! You boys ready for a great raid? Game over. Hello, I like money.